Okay. Ten. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Welcome everyone to Whistler Olympic Park for the 2022 Canadian Ski Championships and US Super Tour Finals. It's day 3 of competition here. It's the classic sprints and some very interesting conditions. I've got Olympian Olivia Bouffard-Nesbitt here. Olivia, what are these conditions like? What is it going to be like for the racers here today?
Yeah, it's very wet out here today, Steve. It's been raining all morning and it's not showing any signs of letting up. However, the course was salted this morning and I can actually see the officials out salting the course right now. So that takes some moisture out of the snow, firms up the course, and the feedback from the athletes this morning was that the course was in pretty good shape, although we do expect it to break down throughout the day, especially on the climbs and the corners.
Okay, now we've got a lot of top racers here because it's both the Canadian Ski Championships and the US Super Tour Finals. We've got top Canadian skiers, top American skiers, international skiers. So what are some of the top names to be looking for, the top qualifiers so far today?
The top qualifiers today in the open women's category were Julia Kern in a solid first place, followed by Daria Beatty.
Yeah, so those are some big names. Julia Kern, recent 4th in the Falloon World Cup. Daria Beatty, a massive performance at the Olympics this year. So those are the top women. What about the top men?
In the men's field, we actually had a Norwegian as the top qualifier, Andreas Kierkang. The top U.S. skier was Luke Yeager, and the top Canadian skier was Antoine Cyr in 4th.
Yeah, so some more big names. So Andreas Kierkang, he's a University of Denver skier, former Norwegian junior champion. We've got Luke Jagger, who's competing in the Olympics for the U.S. team, and Antoine Cyr, who had a 5th place finish in the team sprint with Graham Ritchie, who is also here. So lots of big names in our open men category. Now we also have the heats coming up for our U20 women and U20 men. So what are some of the names there that we're looking for?
That's right. Yeah, the U20s are racing the same courses as the open categories today. In the U20 women, the top qualifier was Jasmine Drolet, and in the U20 men, it was Sacha Masson.
Yeah, so again, great up-and-coming names. A lot of those athletes participated in the recent World Junior and U23 championships. And that's what this event is building towards. Next year here at the Whistler Olympic Park is the U23 and Junior World Championships. And we're competing here at an Olympic venue, Vancouver 2010. What does it mean for the athletes competing at a venue like this and also preparing for a big event next year at this venue?
Yeah, it's so special to be here at the Olympic venue from the Vancouver 2010 Olympics, especially because we haven't had a Canadian championship in 2 years. So it's great to be here. I'm sure some of the athletes were looking up some old footage because the sprint race at the Olympics in 2010 was actually a classic sprint on the same course. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, it's really exciting that this is the venue for next year's World Junior and U23 Championships. We're hoping to see a lot of the athletes who are racing today back here next year representing the US and Canada.
Yeah, so we got lots of great racing coming up today. We got all the heats, open men and women, U20 men and women. So stick around, the heats are coming up right after this.
Hi skiers, my name is Bob Putnam. I'm co-owner of Coast Outdoors in North Vancouver. We're one of Western Canada's premier Nordic specialty shops. We've been in business for about 15 years. I want to welcome you to the Canadian National Cross Country Ski Champs and tell you about our online store, coastoutdoors.ca, where you can order all your gear online. We have Nordic skis, boots, poles, waxes. We're a specialty shop. Most of our staff are avid skiers and racers, so you can be assured that you're going to get quality service from knowledgeable staff. We're not just a big box store that sells skis. We're a specialty ski shop in the wintertime. So come on and check us out and go to coastoutdoors.ca, and we can ship the products to you anywhere in North America. And if you haven't been to our store, we'll be at Whistler Olympic Park for the duration of the National Cross Country Ski Champs. Stop by our booth and say hi, and we can tell you all about what we do here in North Vancouver.
Welcome everyone to the 2022 Canadian Ski Championships and US SuperTour Finals. Our racing is about to get underway here. We've got the Paranordic sit women and sit men, and they'll be starting very, very shortly. And there we go, they're off. And the way the Paranordic sit ski events work, there's an adjustment factor based on their impairment, and so they'll start at different times, and that makes it really dramatic, as you're not really sure how it's all going to finish until right at the end. And so we've got 4 skiers starting out. We've got Christina Picton, who was a Paralympian, just came back from Beijing. Also in there, Lily Brook from British Columbia. Also in there, looks like Kanan Baum from British Columbia, competes for the Larch Hills Nordic Society. So I think all of our skiers are on course now, and they've got this climb out of the stadium. It's a tough climb, and there we've got number 5. That's Colin Cameron, so he started a ways back, and that is a multi-time Paralympic medalist just driving up that climb, and it's really interesting to see the technique there and the power that they've got to generate just with their upper body, and it's really amazing. Now that number 1 is Christina Picton, again, Paralympian just recently in Beijing, and then we've got Colin Cameron, who I believe has 3 medals from the Paralympics, 2018 in Pyeongchang and also in Beijing. And he's now moving into the lead, looking over to Christina, just having a little bit of a chat there. Colin, such a dominant athlete in Paranordic sit ski. We've seen him just great results at the Prince George World Championships back in 2019. And you can see why he is a Paralympic medalist. So we got more athletes coming through. So number 2, that's Lily Brook. She's with Larch Hills. That's right near Salmon Arm, BC. And also in there, number 4, I think that was number 4. It might have been number 6. That might have been Kaden Baum, number 6. But here coming to the finish, the Paralympic multi-time medalist. I believe he's also a world champion. That is Colin Cameron, the former sledge hockey player, driving to the finish. Just massive double pole power for Colin Cameron, and he has got it. And so he's going to take the Paranordic Sit Men's Championship. And just coming in now, that is Christina Picton. She's from Alberta. She's now in Alberta, but she skied for Laurentian Nordic out near Sudbury, and she made the transition to come to Alberta to train, and she competed at the recent Paralympics in Beijing, and really a big transition there, and she's really made it really well. And this looks like number 4. I think that's number 4. That looks like Leo Samarelli, if I've got that right. Yeah, that's Leo Samarelli, the former, the boxer. He's also adaptive boxer and does a lot of different para sports, really promotes different sports. And that is Leo Samarelli coming in, number 4. Then we've got a close battle here. This is number 6, Caden Baum from Larch Hills, and also number 2, Lily Brook from Larch Hills. And just behind them, that's number 3, Ruby Soroya. She's from Revelstoke Nordic. So that's just coming across the line, Caden Baum. So he's going to finish 3rd for the sit men. Number 2, Lily Brook, she is going to be 2nd for the sit women. And there is Ruby Soroya from Revelstoke Nordic in 3rd place for the sit women. So that was just kicking off our racing here today. The Paranordic sit men and women. We'll have our Paranordic standing men and women coming up. And just a little bit on the schedule today. So we've got our Paranordic events. We've had our first event off. Then we'll have our U20 women and open women. They'll be going through their heats, and we'll declare champions there around 240 and 250. Okay, we're just going to go down to Olivia for an interview at the finish.
I'm here with Parasit skier winner Colin Cameron. Colin, tell us about the conditions today.
Yeah, Olivia, it was kind of firm where they salted, and then all of a sudden it kind of turned into like this nasty slush that you just kind of had to survive through. But it was a lot of fun here racing in Whistler in the rain or the sun, whatever's happening right now.
Yeah, beautiful that the sun is trying to get through for this race right now, actually. And how does it feel? You're a mentor for a lot of Parasit skiers across Canada. How does it feel to be racing with some younger athletes out here today?
Yeah, this is what it's all about. I mean, this is why we wanted to come here and do this and, you know, just have fun with everyone racing and just include everyone.
This has been an amazing season for you. How does it feel to close it out here in Whistler?
Oh, it's the best. I mean, this is kind of what we wanted halfway through the year, come here, just kind of unwind from the craziness that was this past season and just enjoy the experience here. It's been amazing.
Definitely. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Olivia, for that interview with the Paralympic medalist Colin Cameron and Canadian champion here today. So coming up next is our Paranordic standing women and men. We'll have 5 athletes competing, and we'll also, again, have for our schedule, we'll have our U20 women and open women coming up, and then after they've completed their heats and their finals, we'll have the U20 men and open men, and we'll wrap up around 4:30 or so today. So lots of racing coming your way here. And here we go. This is our Paranordic standing women are underway. That is Maya Jonas with the Nordic Racers and the Paranordic team. She's also a top runner. She's competed in, I think, the New York Marathon and Chicago Marathon. And here we are, Paranordic standing women Canadian Championship sprint. They've got a 1 kilometer course. And you can see she's got a guide there just guiding her, visually impaired skier. So that's Maya Jonas now on course. Okay, so we've got, that's number 13 in the start gates. That is Jesse Baczynski from Kenora. He's underway, and that's his guide, Levi Nathersmith. It's actually Levi's, I think, 24th birthday today, and he's guiding Jesse. And now we've got 2 other skiers on course. That looks like Mark Ahrens, who's guiding there for one of the athletes. So we've got, I think there's Logan Cox and Logan Lariviere are now on course. Logan Cox from Kimberley Nordic and Logan Lariviere from Laurentian Nordic out near Sudbury area. Oh, and you've got number 14. That's Logan Cox just down there. Jesse Baczynski in the lead. Number 15 is sitting second there, Logan Lariviere, and then Logan Cox just sitting third right now in this group. Just overtaking Maya Jonas right now. Okay, so there is Mark Ahrens. So Mark Ahrens, multi-time Paralympic medalist, so he is guiding there. So great to see him out guiding as well, these young athletes. I think both Logan Cox and Logan Lariviere, we got kind of the battle of the Logans here. They're really side by side. They're both, I think, 15 or 16 years of age, so they're really just getting started in this sport. And great work by the Canadian Paranordic team as far as just developing young athletes, and they've really had enormous success on the Paralympic stage and the World Champion stage. So great that they're developing some young athletes. So right now, just on your screen, that is Jesse Baczynski. And you can see he's just getting that guiding from Levi Nadler-Smith, so you're allowed to just hold on to that ski pole on a downhill just to make sure they know how to navigate that downhill. And it's a very fast downhill coming into the stadium. And then we've got Logan Cox and Logan Lariviere just behind them. But there's the descent into the stadium. Oh, sorry, just the first part of the descent. And now they're making that right-hand turn. Jesse Baczynski just trying to stay upright. It's, as we heard from Colin Cameron, as he put it, there's some firm parts, but also some nasty slush that you've got to deal with on this course. So there is Jesse Baczynski in that final few hundred meters, double poling. And he'll make that left-hand turn and come into the final straightaway. So Jesse from Kenora, Ontario, worked very hard over the last, I think, 5 years. He got his first international competition at the 2017 Canmore Paranordic World Cup. On your screen is Maya Jonas, longtime Paranordic athlete and multi-sport athlete. They're coming into the final straightaway. Oh, a nice charge back here by Logan Cox. He had that fall earlier, and he's charging back here, challenging Jesse Baczynski into the finish. Wow, Logan Cox, he had that fall again, and he's come back. But Jesse Baczynski just ahead of him. Number 13 and number 14, Logan Cox of the Kimberly Nordic team. What a race there for Logan to bounce back after that. And here is Logan Lariviere coming in. And there's Maya Jonas. She skis with the Nordic Racers. She's in that finishing straight. So this is the venue for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. So many great moments from those Olympics and Paralympics, and these athletes are right in this course, this stadium that just brings back so many memories, so many positive feelings from those fantastic Olympics in 2010. Maya Jonas just in her final section here in the stadium. This stadium, it's about 45 seconds, 60 seconds of double poling once you get into the stadium. So no matter what happens out on the course as we watch these sprints, this final stadium section, lots can happen. And you also have this big left-hand turn where lots can happen as well. And I remember in the Olympics, a few skiers falling down on that final left-hand turn. So, and if you're just joining us, this is the Paranordic standing women and men. So Maya Jonas competed in the New York Marathon and Chicago Marathon. She doesn't sit down. She keeps pretty active across all the different sports. And there, she's making that left-hand turn, and she's now into the finishing straight. Maya Jonas. And you can see with the way that it works with the guides, they'll have a headset, and they can communicate to their skier. And it takes a lot of practice to get that communication down, because it's a race. You've got to make sure you know exactly the cue words you're going to use. You know, it's really important in these races you get that communication down. And great job here by the guide and Maya Jonas making that double pole sprint finish. Leaving it all out there. So Maya Jonas coming across the finish line. For Paranordic standing women collapsing at the finish, and you can see that quote-unquote nasty slush. And we're just going to go down to Olivia for an interview here.
I'm here with Jesse and Levi, the winners of the Para Standing Classic Sprint. Jesse, how did you feel in this final versus the qualifier this morning?
This one definitely felt really good. I think the qualifying went really well. This one, I think, went really, really well. I did find this one was, well, the qualifying felt a little icy, but this one felt really good. And yeah, no, I I had a lot of fun, and yeah, it was a great event, and yeah, no, it was a phenomenal race, and happy with it, and yeah, no, yeah.
Thank you, Jesse. And Levi, how's it been working together?
Really good, yeah. It's been Jesse's a great skier, and it's been really cool to see him, watch him grow and improve as a skier. And I think he's skiing really well this weekend. So,
Great. Congratulations, you guys.
I've had Levi as a guide for 3 or 4 years now, and he's an incredible skier himself, and incredible guide, and I couldn't do anything without him. And he's just phenomenal, and it's amazing. We work really well as a team, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Great. Thank you so much, Jesse. All right, back to Steve.
Okay, so we're back live here in the commentary booth. So we had some great racing on the Paranordic side, some close races. We had some slips and falls out there, but some great starts here to our sprint day, our classic sprints. We've got our U20 women and open women coming up. I believe that's at 1:30, so about 15 minutes away for the start of that. But this was the start of our Paranordic sit ski event. And this is our standing women just starting there. So we're just getting some scenes here from the racing, and that was Colin Cameron. Just, that is the power of a Paralympic medalist right there, Colin Cameron, the former sledge hockey player. We talked a little bit about that. And now we just showed a little bit of Leo Samarelli, the boxer. And now, look at that. That was Logan Cox, number 14. He fell early, but he came back, and look at that, almost just finishing behind Jesse Baczynski. So great bounce back there by Logan Cox. And this is Maya Jonas. This is their finish there. So some great starts to our Paranordic races. We've got our other sprints, our able-bodied sprints coming up shortly. And yeah, some just great start to everything here here at the the Whistler Olympic Park. Okay, so great start here, and we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Hi skiers, my name is Bob Putnam. I'm co-owner of Coast Outdoors in North Vancouver. We're one of Western Canada's premier Nordic specialty shops. We've been in business for about 15 years. I want to welcome you to the Canadian National Cross Country Ski Champs and tell you about our online store, coastoutdoors.ca, where you can order all your gear online. We have Nordic skis, boots, poles, waxes. We're a specialty shop. Most of our staff are avid skiers and racers, so you can be assured that you're going to get quality service from knowledgeable staff. We're not just a big box store that sells skis. We're a specialty ski shop in the wintertime. So come on and check us out and go to coastoutdoors.ca, and we can ship the products to you anywhere in North America. And if you haven't been to our store, we'll be at Whistler Olympic Park for the duration of the National Cross Country Ski Champs. Stop by our booth and say hi, and we can tell you all about what we do here in North Vancouver.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2022 Canadian Ski Championships and U.S. Super Tour Finals. Thank you for joining us here. We're at the Whistler Olympic Park here, just in beautiful British Columbia. We're about 4.5 minutes away from the start of our U20 women's heats, and then we'll have our open women's heats right after that. And basically, we'll have all our women race, and we'll declare our champions, and then we'll have our U20 and open men race after them. And it's very wet here. It's been raining quite a bit. You may have, if you heard from our broadcast earlier, the course was salted here, which means they put something on the snow and that it absorbs the moisture, tries and firms up the tracks. And from hearing from some of the athletes, some parts of the course are very firm, but other parts have turned into slush. And that can create a bit of chaos in these sprints when you don't have perfect tracks to ski in. But that's what we have. It's been very, very wet here, and it's going to be create some very interesting racing coming up. These are our classic sprints. This is pretty much exactly the same course they used for the Vancouver 2010 Olympics. You can see the dividers there, just highlighting Vancouver 2010 was right here. And very similar course, a little bit shorter, but you've got a big climb out of the stadium. You make a right turn, big climb out of the stadium, then a bit of a downhill, turn around, come back. You've got a second uphill, and then a chicane kind of down into the stadium, and quite a bit of double poling around the final, 300 meters or so, about 45 seconds or so of double poling. So very, very interesting course. Oh, there is a technique zone here. What that means is there's portions of the hills that are designated you have to classic stride it. You can't double pole it. And that's because of all the push towards double poling. In this course, I think definitely on a faster day, you would be double poling this course at the highest levels of competitors here. But with that technique zone, that means they have to stride it or herringbone it. So that eliminates that pure double poling the entire course. So we can see our first athletes just starting to get their skis set up in those start gates, getting ready for our first of 5 quarterfinal heats for our U20 women. So, and this is both the Canadian Championships and the U.S. Super Tour Finals. So you're seeing lots of top Canadian skiers, lots of top American skiers. And right now on our screen, you can see that's a Dartmouth athlete. That's 101, Jasmine Drolet, and she is a Canadian. She competed for Team Canada at the World Junior Championships, World Under 23 Championships recently in Norway, and she skis for the Dartmouth University out of the U.S. So she's wearing the Dartmouth colors there at 101. She was our top seed today, and definitely one of the favorites to try and make it to the finals here at Whistler Olympic Park. And that's just a nice view of the stadium area, just the finish area, And great to be back here. You know, there hasn't been that many events here since the Olympics in 2010. We had, I think it was 2013, we had a national championships here, but it's been kind of quiet for major events. But this week we've had some, we had the Continental Cup, ski jumping, Nordic combined. Now we have the Canadian Championships and US Super Tour finals. So there we go. We've got our skiers. So we're about 30 seconds to start. So you can see in the center, 101, Jasmine Drolet, 110, Clara Barrington-Craigs, 111, just on the outside, that's Jill Stephen. She's with the Alberta World Cup Academy. 120, I don't see 120 in the start line. That'd be Emmanuel Simard. 121, Sophie Tremblay, and 130, Erin Dunn. Okay, we're underway. This is our first heat. We've got 5 skiers, so 1 skier not racing. That's 120. Looks like she's a scratch. And early on in the green, that is Jasmine Drolet. She's known as the Little Terminator. Her older brother, Remy Drolet, is the Terminator, and she is the Little Terminator with a huge start there. So she is your early leader, pulling ahead. And 110, Clara Barrington-Craigs from... She is from Ski de Fond, Montreal. She's sitting second, and now just moving on the inside, that was Jill Stephen. She's from Foothills Nordic and Alberta World Cup Academy. So that is Jill Stephen there, just sitting second spot. Then that looks like Clara Barrington-Craigs sitting in third spot. And then just following them, Sophie Tremblay and Erin Dunn. So they're on that climb, just coming out of the stadium, that long climb. And one thing, just talking to the wax tech, so a lot of skiers going with Clister skis here, but some skiers going with zeros as well. And it's kind of 50-50, at least amongst the coaches that I talk to. So some very different waxing strategies here for this race. And I think it's even over the course, it changes. We've got firm tracks or where it gets a little bit softer. So there's Jasmine Drolet in the green, pulling away from this pack of 4 athletes. And the way it works with the sprints, the top 2 automatically go on to the next round. And then there's 2 lucky loser positions amongst the other heats, the other finishers. So there's Jasmine Drolet in the green of Dartmouth University. The class of this heat, well out in front. Definitely living up to her nickname, the Little Terminator. And she's not slowing down. She does want to save a bit of her energy, but she's also just making sure she's going to move on to the semifinal. So Jill Stephen there, 111, moving into second, and 110, Clara Barrington-Craigs sitting in third spot. So Jill Stephen trying to get that second automatic spot. Now they're up this. They made the turnaround, and they're now on the second little climb. And then they've got that kind of chicane downhill and quite a bit of double poling coming into the finish now. Making a charge there, Clara Barrington-Craigs. She's starting to reel in Jill Stephen, and we're going to see how this downhill plays out. This is the first time we've been able to see this on camera. There is nice camera work there. Jasmine Drolet, no problem on that downhill, staying in a tuck. And I suspect she's just going to ease up a bit. But look at this. Oh, this is a battle here. This is Jill Stephen in the lead. Clara Barrington-Craigs sitting second. Now let's see how the skis run out here. So staying in the tuck just a little longer was Barrington-Craigs. And we've got about 30 seconds of double poling here. Can Jill Stephen hold on to that second qualifying position, automatic qualifying position? And just well, this is interesting. So there's just a little bit of a rise coming into that corner. And Jill Stephen going with a bit of striding. And now a couple other skiers catching up. But Jasmine Drolet now just coming into the finish, the final straightaway. She is going to be our first automatic qualifier in this first heat for the U20 women for the Canadian Championships and US Super Tour finals. So Jasmine easily outdistancing the competitors in her heat. And now we've got Jill Stephen out of the track, double poling, and Clara Barrington-Craigs trying to reel her in. So this is interesting. There is just a little bit of an uphill there. Can Jill Stephen hang on? 111. with the Alberta World Cup Academy. She's looking over. She's got people coming on her right, coming on her left, but she held on. Jill Stephen, our second automatic qualifier, and that looked like Clara Barrington-Craigs coming in third, just collapsing there at the finish. So that's our first heat of the day. I think we've got about 32 heats to get through to declare our 4 champions today, and that is our first of the day here. So Clara Barrington-Craigs completely exhausted. Okay, here is our next heat lining up. 104, Nina Seaman. 107, Stella Duncan. 114, Natalie Thane. 117, Lucy Ludwig. 124, Kara Gilbert. And 127, Kara Gordon. So those are our 6 athletes, and there we are underway. So Nina Seaman, a teammate of Jasmine Drolet on the Dartmouth team. She's in the green there. Early lead, but about 4 skiers pretty close here going into that first corner. We have had a few broken poles on this corner so far this week, so trying to hold their positions, but that's Nina Seaman going to be in the lead. 107, Stella Duncan. She's with Chelsea Nordic, sitting there in second spot. And then coming up on the inside, Lucy Ludwig from the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation. And also looks like we've got, that looks like 124, Kira Gilbert from the Bridger Ski Foundation. But so far, Nina Seaman, who I think took a national U20 US championship just a couple weeks ago in Minneapolis. Now we've got just Stella Duncan moving up. She was the 7th qualifier, but still pretty close together on this climb. So this is the big climb out of the stadium, the first climb. And then they do a U-turn, come back a little bit of a downhill, bit of an uphill, and then down into the stadium. So still Nina Seaman in the green, 104 in the lead. 107, Stella Duncan from Chelsea Nordic, sitting second spot. But as we saw in that first heat, that downhill is pretty important. If you've got, maybe you've gone more on the glide or more on the kick, and that changes things up. So now, speaking of things changing up, Stella Duncan pushing ahead on that climb. Nina Seaman just out of the draft there, not able to get a draft off of Stella Duncan. Making that sharp U-turn. Oh, a little bit of a bobble there. So sitting third right now, that's Natalie Thane, 117 Lucy Ludwig, and 124 Kira Gilbert. So 2 skiers starting to pull away here in this heat. Stella Duncan, Nina Seaman. They're going to head into that long downhill into the stadium. So that is Stella Duncan right there. Nina Seaman just starting to glide up to her a little bit. And we've got this right-hand turn into the stadium. See the glide out here. So you can see, I think definitely an advantage, Nina Seaman on the wax. And you see it a little bit with younger skiers getting a little bit impatient, wanting to come out of that tuck a little bit too early. So just staying patient, saving that little bit of an energy. So there's just a little bit of a rise here, and then they make that left-hand turn. Nina Seaman just looking over his shoulder going, yeah, I want to save some energy here going into the next round. Clearly out in front. Those should be our 2 automatic qualifiers, 104 Nina Seaman and 107 Stella Duncan. And there we go into the finish. Nina Seaman now pulling in front. They're just saving some energy here. They're going to be our top 2 automatic qualifiers. Nina Seaman, very experienced skier, just looking over his shoulder, making sure She hasn't missed anything, but we got a bit of a sprint here. 117, Lucy Ludwig, Sun Valley versus 114, Natalie Thane. But it's going to be Nina Seaman there winning the heat. Then Stella Duncan in second with the Alberta World Cup Academy and Chelsea Nordic. And 117, Lucy Ludwig of Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation. Natalie Thane, Kira Gilbert, and Kara Gordon from Revelstoke Nordic finishing it up. That's heat number 2 for our under 20 women. So far 4 automatic qualifiers. We're gonna go to our third heat now. 105, Anna Stewart. 106, Magali Daou. 115, Colbury Dolbrish. 116, Leah Scarrett. 125, Isabel Henry. And 126, Maggie Beckner are now in the start gates. Maggie in the blue there, 126 on the outside. Anna Stewart, originally from Thunder Bay, now competes with Alberta World Cup Academy, number 105. She's the top qualifier in this heat. And Anna Stewart just pushing out into the lead. She's from Thunder Bay, and I understand they had 45 centimeters of snow in Thunder Bay this morning, so probably a lot of skiers deciding to maybe stay home from school and watch this live stream. So welcome all the folks from Thunder Bay, and they'll be cheering on Anna Stewart. So she originally from Thunder Bay, I believe she now lives in the Canmore area and skis for the Alberta World Cup Academy. Oh, we got one skier down. I didn't quite catch the number, but we got Magali Daous now moving into the lead. But that skier who fell, she is back. I think that was Maggie Beckner that might have fallen, but everyone's back into this. No one's out of it, and we saw that in the Paranordic races. Logan Cox falling on that climb, but coming back and almost closing in on the competition right at the end. So this is that first long climb coming out of the stadium area, and it's pretty close there. We've got 4 skiers all together, and those 2 other skiers not too far behind. So it looks like Anna Stewart just herringboning a little bit, so she's maybe gone for a little bit less kick wax, and we'll see how that unfolds on the downhill into the stadium, how that works out for her. Okay, so now in the lead, that's Magali Daoust, the Nakertok, skis with the Nakertok Club. And we've got 116 Leah Scarrett, also from Nakertok. Then Anna Stewart with the Alberta World Cup Academy, sitting 3rd spot. She's looking over her shoulder, just wondering where everyone's at. Okay, so that corner's a little bit tricky, but everyone's safely through it. And now that downhill, and they're all trying to double pole, get up to speed going into that downhill. But it's very close here. Looked like Anna Stewart maybe a little bit faster skis on that just short downhill. Okay, so 125 sitting. That's Isabel Henry sitting in 4th spot. She's from Canmore originally, now skis for Montana State University. And her nickname in Canmore was the Blizzard, Izzy Blizzy. So she is sitting 4th right now. So here's the descent into the stadium. That's Magali Daous. You can see the Nakertok on the right arm. Let's see how the skis run out here into the stadium. Magali Daoust, well out in front, and it's a drag race here. And now making a move here just on the outside. That looks like that is Colbury Drobish. She's a BC athlete, and look at that double pole. She is making up some ground here. So Colbury Drobish, BC athlete. I think she skis with the Bridger Ski Foundation now. So here we go into the finish. Look at this. Look at the double pull power of Colby Jobrish. She's coming in. She wants to get that automatic qualifying spot. Magali Daou also right there. But also coming in is Leah Scarrett. It's a double pull battle to the finish. Who is it going to be? Magali Daou just holding on. And that was very close between Leah Scarrett and Anna Stewart and Colby Jobrish. Wow, that was a nice little battle. And there is Isabel Henry, 125, and Maggie Beckner. That was a pretty fast heat, so maybe one or two of those athletes in third and fourth can make it into the finals, or sorry, into the semifinals the next round. Okay, next up, our fourth heat for our U20 women. 102, Sonia Schmidt. 109, Marley Molinaro. 112, Emma Reeder. 119, Imogen Nadler-Smith. 122, Sienna Brennan-Rabb. And 129, Morgan Saint-Martin. All 6 skiers there.
Say cheese. There you go.
So Sonia Schmidt from Whitehorse, she has made some really big leaps in her fitness and her results over the last couple of years, and it's been a while since we've had a national championships. It was 2019, and it's amazing to see the progress of some of these athletes. Okay, we're underway.
British Columbia. Lily.
So on that inside 102, that is Sonia Schmidt. She's in that blue and black of the Alberta World Cup Academy. But Marley Molinaro moving into the lead. She's also Alberta World Cup Academy athlete. Imogen Nadler-Smith right in there. She skis with the Downtown Nordic Ski Club out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, making a nice little charge up that climb. So you can see some going with the herringbone, some maybe a little more wax, running up that climb. So Sonia Schmidt in the lead, but Imogen Nadler-Smith from Downtown Nordic right on her heels. Then we've got, that looks like Sonia Schmidt sitting in third spot. A little more of a climb here to the top of the course. So Emma Reeder in the green there from Dartmouth, sitting, looks like, I think sitting third, but I think also in there 109, Marley Molinaro. She's right there. I think maybe she is in third spot right now. 122 is Sienna Brennan-Rabb. And just off the back, Morgan Saint-Martin, sitting sixth right now. Here's just the top of that climb, and then they're going to have that quick left-hand U-turn. So right now it is still Sonia Schmidt, originally from Whitehorse, now with the Alberta World Cup Academy, and then Imogen Nadler-Smith out of, a little bit of a bobble there for Sonia, but Imogen clearly through. You can see how they get really low, get that center of gravity low so they can navigate that corner. You don't want to be too upright. It's hard to control. So here we go, Sonia Schmidt. Well out in front, but Imogen Nadler-Smith, that is a surprise, but she is, she's doing quite well there, just staying on the heels of Sonia Schmidt. Now they're into that chicane downhill coming into the stadium. Wow, there's quite a gap there between second and third. You've got that right-hand turn. Marley Molinaro in there. She's sitting third. That is a Quebec athlete. That looks like Sienna Brennan-Rabb. Okay, so now they're into the stadium, and now things are starting to get pretty interesting. Sonia Schmidt out at front, but now we've got three skiers trying to find that second qualifying spot, trying to achieve that. You can see they're flipping between tracks, some staying out of the track, some double pulling out of the tracks, thinking it might be a little bit faster. They still have another 30 seconds or so, 25 seconds to the finish. But Sonia Schmidt had some outstanding results this last season, really improved quite a bit. And here we go, the battle for second On your left, that's 109, Marley Molinaro making a charge. On your right in the green, that is Emma Reeder, and then Emmy Nadler-Smith in the middle. Who is going to get that second spot here in the quarterfinal? Marley Molinaro is going to do it, coming back on that long double pole section. Emmy Nadler-Smith in third, and Emma Reeder from Dartmouth and Green in fourth. Sienna Brennan-Rabb on the Quebec team coming in fifth. And in sixth place from the Orford team, that is Morgan Saint-Martin.
Birthday boy of the day.
So our automatic qualifiers, Sonia Schmidt and Marley Molinaro, both with the Alberta World Cup Academy. That's our fourth quarterfinal, and this is our fifth and final quarterfinal for our U20 women. We've got 103 Lillian Gagnon, 108 Amelia Wells, 113 Katja Semniuk, 118 Sophia Marshall, 123 Ariane Caron, and 128 Kara Picos.
Your Paranordic standing man podium for the sprint event.
So Lillian Gagnon qualified third. She's in 103. Very strong skier. I believe she represented Canada at the U20 Worlds in Norway. And of course, this event building to the U20 and U23 Worlds here at Whistler Olympic Park in 2023. So Lillian Gagnon leading it out here in this heat, this fifth and final quarterfinal heat. Katja Semniuk from the Alberta World Cup Academy. She's 113, just on the outside. 108, Amelia Wells, also with the Alberta World Cup Academy. She's making a charge there on the right-hand side. So there is Lillian Gagnon in the black, and then the blue and black is Amelia Wells, 108. Looks like Lillian really trying to drive this uphill, really create some separation early on. We've got two skiers there. Sophia Marshall with the Rocky Mountain Racers, 118. And also in there, Katja Semniuk, another Alberta World Cup Academy athlete. And Ariane Caron, Monteruski, 123, and Kara Picos from the Barrie cross country ski team. That team coached by Jack Sassville, if I recall correctly. Longtime coach, announcer, and ski venue operator here in Canada, the Hardwood Hills in Ontario. Okay, so in the black there, that is Lillian Gagnon. Then 108, Amelia Wells. So this downhill before the left-hand corner, keeping their center of gravity low. So pulling into third, that is Katja Semniuk, and then Sophie Marshall in fourth. I think Ariane Caron in fifth. And that is Kara Picos. So just this little bit of an uphill. If you remember the Olympics, it was a bit longer of an uphill just because they went further, a little bit longer course. Then this downhill.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Lillian Gagnon still well out in front. Yeah, Lillian Gagnon many times on the podium in younger age categories, and so she is looking for a national championship here today. This is the fifth heat. We'll move on to the semifinals, but we'll have our heats for our open women coming up right after this. So this is Lillian Gagnon, well out in front. Then Amelia Wells sitting in second spot. And Katja Semniuk starting to close that gap. The two Alberta World Cup Academy athletes. That is for that second automatic qualifying spot. And there's a lot of double polling in this stadium area. So Lillian Gagnon out of the tracks, feeling that's the fastest, and it does look like that's probably the fastest. But here we go, the battle for that second spot. On your left, that is Katja Semenek, and on your right, that is Amelia Wells. And Katja Semenek is making the charge here. Is it going to be enough? She came from third spot, and she is going to get that second automatic qualifying spot ahead of Amelia Wells. So you can see that at the stadium, lots of double polling. I was talking with Andy Newell, and he said about 45 seconds for the men, that double polling in the stadium. So that's a big part of this race, and we can see right there that Katja Semenek taking advantage of that. So that's Ariane Caron just coming across the line, and Kara Picos. Okay, we are now into our open women's first qualifying heat. We got some big names here. Number 1 from the USA, Julia Kern. 2:10, Carrion Dengerud. 2:11, Novi McCabe. 2:20, Zoe Williams. 2:21, Evelina Sutro. And 2:30, Michaela Keller-Miller. So Julia Kern, really you got to say the favorite of this race. She took 4th place in the Falun World Cup in Sweden just a couple weeks ago, 7th at Drammen. So she skis for the Stratton Mountain School team. So she's in that blue and red. But look at the start there for Novi McCabe. That's Novi. Sorry, 2:10. That's Carrie-Anne Dengerud. She's with the Utah team. That was a big start for Carrie-Anne. But Julia Kern there, 2:01, just on the outside. But this is a very, very competitive heat here. They're all very close together. Julia Kern, so she got 7th at the Drammen World Cup in Norway, which is huge fields. And she has really come on strong. Interesting story about Julia Kern. She was a basketball player, got injured in grade 9, just by chance got into cross-country skiing. And that wasn't that long ago. That was probably, maybe less than 10 years ago. And she's an Olympian, and she's won medals on the World Cup. And so that was a really lucky break, so to speak, with that injury. And she is definitely one of the top American athletes and top sprinters in the world. So she's here, but those women holding pretty close. Now they're starting to fall off just a little bit. So that's Carrie-Anne Dengerud, I think she's moved in 3rd, and that's Novi McCabe sitting in 2nd spot. So Julia Kern, a Olympian this year at Beijing, also Novi McCabe. She competed at the Beijing Olympics. She also, at the Tour de Ski, she was 7th on the final stage. And if you've heard that name before, McCabe, she's the daughter of Laura McCabe, who was competed for the U.S. in the Olympics, I think, 94 and maybe 98. Also, I think American Birkebeiner winner Laura McCabe. So that's her daughter, Novi McCabe, sitting 2nd spot. And we've got Carrie-Anne Dengerud from the Utah University team. And I think that was Zoe Williams sitting in 4th spot. We'll see as they make this descent. So again, Julia Kern, Novi McCabe, Carrie-Anne Dengerud, Zoe Williams. Then we've got Evelina Sutro and Michaela Keller-Miller. So Evelina also with that, I think that Stratton Mountain School team, if I think that's right. And then the Craftsbury Green Racing Project, that is Michaela Keller-Miller. So we're now into the stadium, very close here. So you can see with the open women, there's quite a few top women here, and it's creating some very tight, very close racing. Oh, and look at this, Zoe Williams, 2:20, moving ahead of Carrie-Anne Dengerud from Utah. So Julia Kern to take this fairly easy, but she's got a target on her back. I think a lot of the skiers here would love to beat her in the SuperTour final. Novi McCabe sitting 2nd spot. Look at this, Zoe Williams not giving up on the outside there in the white and green and yellow. What a fighter, just leaving it all out there. And again, that was a pretty fast heat, so we'll see if she can get that lucky loser position, but she did not give up. I love the fight in Zoe Williams. But Julia Kern showing why she is the #1 qualifier and the highest ranked skier here today. Okay, now moving on to our second heat for the open women, second quarterfinal heat. We've got 204, Sandrine Brown, 207, Sydney Palmer Ledger, 214, Sophia Lockley, 217, Caitlin Patterson, 224, Alexandra Lawson, and 227, Maria Bradal. Some more big names here. 204, Sandrine Brown, the Olympian for Canada. 207, Sydney Palmer Ledger. She had some great results at the World U23 Championships recently. 214, Sophia Lockley. She was an Olympian in Beijing, and she was 5th on the final stage of the Tour de Ski back in January. Caitlin Patterson, a Olympian, with in the green and black there with the Craftsbury Racing Project. So some big names, and this is our second open women's quarterfinal heat, and they are underway.
Elles sont en piste. Épreuve sprint.
So Sandrine Brown, the Canadian Olympian, in the lead right now, but very close start. Watching their poles there, 217, Caitlin Patterson on the outside in the green and black. So Sophia Lockley just off the back there. And what's interesting with sprint racing is, you know, we call it a sprint, but you've got to get through three races to get to that final, win that final. So certainly, and you've also got the qualifier earlier in the day. So there's this mix of sprinting, but also endurance. And the endurance athletes, they just somehow have to get through these early heats, get to that semifinal, get to that final when that endurance starts to pay off. And I think I would put Sophia Lockley in that category, that if she can get through this heat, she's such a good distance skier that, you know, she could get on the podium, but she's got to get through this first heat up against these top sprinters. Still very close together, but Sophia Lockley just at the back there moving up. But so far, Sandrine Brown, the Canadian, I think sitting first. Oh, she's moved back to second. That is Sydney Palmer Ledger. And she's wearing the colors of the Utah University. That really strong Utah University team. You know, they go to the NCAA finals, and you're only allowed 3 skiers per university, and the skiers that they're not picking are, you know, world class, because they've got the likes of Sydney Palmer Ledger, Sophia Lockley, and Novi McCabe on that Utah University team. So Sydney Palmer Ledger, double polling. So she's in the lead. Sandrine Brown sitting 204 second. Caitlin Patterson just moving tracks there, 217. 224, Alexandra Lawson and Sophia Lockley in 5th. And Maria Bradal from the Bridger Ski Foundation sitting in 6th spot right now. Okay, 4 skiers almost in a row there. Sandrine Brown trying to get some draft there. Caitlin Patterson moving out of the track. Looks like she's got really fast skis. So we're going to see them descend into the stadium here. Try and ride out that tuck. Try and save a bit of energy, because this is a long double pole section. Okay, so Sydney Palmer Ledger, she's in that white with the black legs and the burgundy on the legs. And then right behind her, Caitlin Patterson. So Caitlin Patterson saying, I want to be just behind Sydney Palmer Ledger. She's going to be a good draft to get behind. Sandrine Brown trying to hang there, trying to hold that inside position, trying to avoid getting pinched out on that U-turn that they're going to be making shortly into the home stretch. And here we go, Caitlin Patterson swinging to the outside, 217 on your left, on the right, Sydney Palmer Ledger in the white, and Alexandra Lawson making a charge here. She's on the heels of her teammate. So it's going to be Caitlin Patterson, and it looks like Alexandra Lawson is going to hold on for that second spot. Wow, what a finish there by Alexandra Lawson, overtaking Cedrine Brown. So 2 Craftsbury Green Racing Project athletes finishing 1-2 there. That's Maria Bradall finishing up
17-24,
for the Bridger Ski Foundation. But wow, that finish by Alexandra Lawson got her into the semifinals. And again, that stadium double pole section, it's a lot. And the race is not over until that final lunge. Okay, so here we have our third heat for the open women. Catherine Ogden, so that was, we got 2:06, Julia Richter. That is Catherine Ogden, 2:05. Samantha Smith, 2:15. Laura Leclerc, 2:16. Canadian, went to the Olympics, represented Canada there. And I believe, if I've got my notes right, that she'll be retiring at the end of this season. So she's looking to go out on a great note. She was the Canada Winter Games bronze medalist in the sprint. But a very good sprinter. She had great results at the Olympic trials and got her to the Olympics. So we got 5 skiers in this. Oh, so sorry, we also missed Maya McIsaac-Jones, 2:26. And this is her last race of her professional career, and she's getting a good start there. She's just on the outside, 2:26. She said this is going to be her last event, the sprints here at Nationals. So she's in the mix right now. So Catherine Ogden there in the blue and red of the Stratton Mountain School team, 2:06, Julia Richter. Now, one skier in here that's interesting, Sammy Smith. She has been a great up-and-coming skier. So she is in, she's 2:15. She's with the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation. So she's sitting about 4th spot right now.
Very tight race right now in the uphill section.
And actually, what we've got here, 2:06 is Julia Richter, 2:25 is Merle Richter. They are sisters. Merle, I believe, is the younger sister of Julia, so we've got 2 sisters in this race. And in fact, they're in the same track right now, 2:06 and 2:25. So Maya McIsaac-Jones just off the back there, 2:26. Okay, so they're making their way to this hairpin left turn, just a little bit of an uphill, and then they'll make that turn. So that is Catherine Ogden in the lead, 2:05. Then we've got Laura Leclerc in second, Julia Richter, then Sammy Smith, then Merle Richter. And there is Maya McIsaac-Jones in her final race. She's done a lot of great things for Canadian skiing. One of Canada's top sprint skiers over the last, I want to say, decade almost. She's in her final event, final race. Lots of fans cheering on Maya McIsaac-Jones in her final race.
It's everybody's game right now at this point.
Okay, so here we've got 5 skiers. Oh, trying to pick their tracks. They've got this always interesting right-hand turn into the stadium, trying to hold their position. And Laura Leclerc falling back. She was in second, and now she is in 4th. And they're now into the stadium. 5 skiers, 2 automatic qualifying spots. Catherine Ogden leading this out. This is also Catherine Ogden's last season, so she'd like to finish off this season with a win. And 2:06, Julia Richter with some great double poling. And Sammy Smith sitting in 3rd there in the blue of the Sun Valley team. And here comes Maya McIsaac-Jones. Final race of her career. And here we go. Final straightaway. And here comes Sammy Smith on the outside. Look at that double poling. Oh my goodness, Sammy Smith turning on the jets here. Unreal. Can Sammy Smith do it here? Sammy Smith, what a finish. Oh, hello. And Catherine Ogden, I think, getting second. Julia Richter winning. What hitter? She got third place there. Merle Richter in, Laura Leclerc in, and Maya McIsaac-Jones, her final race with a smile on her face. She's done a lot of great things for Canadian skiing, getting some hugs there. Maya McIsaac-Jones, great person, great athlete, wrapping up her career with that race. So well done. And so we've got one athlete retiring, leaving the sport, but Sammy Smith, wow, what a finish. Okay, I think we're moving on, I think, to our fourth quarterfinal for the Open Women. So I think that graphic might be just a little bit off on your screen. So our Open Women, we've got 202, Daria Beatty, 209, Ava Thurston, 212, Laurence Dumais, 219, Hannah Mahane, 222, Hannah Abramson, and 229, Margie Freed. So this will be the fourth heat for our Open Women coming up. But we got to make a note, Sammy Smith with that double pole finish in that last heat. My goodness. I was reading up before that race, and Sammy Smith was a name that kept popping up as a future star. Well, it's here and now. She already starting to show off her her amazing ski abilities and double pole power. Okay, so now in this heat, Daria Beatty, the Canadian Olympian, she had that 18th place finish at the Olympics, the 10K Classic. Just a monster of a race there. Also in this race, 209, so she's sitting third, is Ava Thurston, who really lit it up in the U.S. Junior National Championships in Minneapolis just a couple weeks ago. I think she took 3 or 4 wins. That doesn't happen too often. I think the last athlete to perform that level for the women was Jessie Diggins. Jessie not here today. She was racing the first 2 days at these Canadian Championships, but she posted on Instagram yesterday that she was at her limit. She felt she was going beyond her limit, and she needed to bring her season to a close and get some recovery in. But great to have Jessie Diggins here for our first 2 days of racing. Right now, this is our fourth heat for our Open Women. Daria Beatty in the lead. Ava Thurston, 209, sitting in second. 212 is Laurence Dumais. She had a really good season this year, just, Olympic trials, some great results. And I believe she might be winding up her career this week here. Oh, and we got a skier down. That is Hannah Mahane just down in that corner. So that corner has finally claimed a victim. And that's going to be tough to recover from. But she went for it. She was trying to hold that front lead group. She went all in and didn't quite work out in that corner.
Here we go now in the descent as the...
Okay, here we are into the descent.
his way in right now.
4 skiers together.
So clearing up.
So that's Daria Beatty, Laurence Dumais in second, Ava Thurston in third. I didn't quite catch the number there. I think that's Margie Freed, I think, sitting in 4th spot. So now we've got this long double pole section. Ava Thurston out of the track, trying to hold that inside lane. She'd like to get a little further up going into that sharp corner. Daria Beatty trying to hold her position so she can control kind of her positioning going to that final corner. But still lots to go. And that's Margie Freed in the green and black in 4th. And then Hannah Abramson. She's a Swedish skier. Skis, I believe, for maybe University of Colorado, but I'm not sure on that one. Okay, so here we go into the finish. Daria Beatty Our second qualifier leading it out. Ava Thurston on the right-hand side, trying to get ahead of Laurence Dumais. Driving to the finish, both those skiers battling for that second spot out of the track. Laurence Dumais holding on to second spot. Very close there for third and fourth between Ava Thurston and Margie Freed. And there's Hannah Abramson just coming across the line, a Swedish skier. And Hannah Mahane, just an unfortunate fall there, but she was going for it. She knew she had to go for it if she wanted to get into the next rounds. And it didn't quite work out, but some great courage there to give it a shot.
Right behind Daria Beatty, making it to the next round. Very well done. Et pendant ce temps, on est à se préparer pour la ronde de qualification numéro 5. Dernière ronde de qualification.
Okay, so this is our fifth and final quarterfinal heat for the Open Women. 2:03, Elena Sonneson. 2:08, Lauren Jortberg. 2:13, Katie Weaver. 2:18, Becca Roraba. 2:23, Shaylin Lowen. And 2:28, Anna Perron. So Elena Sonneson sitting there, kind of in the middle, 2:03. She's a three-time American Birkebeiner champion. That's the 50K. But she's also had some great sprint results. Come to the line right now. So we're underway. This is our fifth and final quarterfinal heat for our Open Women. After this, we'll be going to the semifinals for our U20 women. So the early leader, that is Shaylin Lowen from the Thunder Bay Training Center. On the inside, though, that is Elena Sonneson. So Elena Sonneson just pulling out front. Then we've got Katie Weaver, Vancouver athlete, skiing, I think, for the Rocky Mountain Racers. And we've got in there 2:18. That's Becca Roraba from the APU Nordic Ski Center. I think she is definitely going to move up. She's another top endurance athlete. She wants to get through to those next heats so she can show off her fitness in the semifinals and finals. Yeah, this heat is far from over. I think even those skiers just sitting in 4 through 6 definitely have a chance here. So Katie Weaver moving to the front. The Vancouver skier came up through the Hollyburn program out at Cypress Mountain. Okay, so Elena Sonneson first, Katie Weaver. I think that's Lauren Jortberg sitting in third spot. Okay, so just up this little climb, that is Elena Sonneson, 2:03, 2:08, Lauren Jortberg, 2:13, Katie Weaver. They're going to head to that chicane downhill into the stadium. Okay, Katie Weaver trying to move up. You can hear the cheers for Katie Weaver. Elena Sonneson is going to lead into that, then Lauren Jortberg sitting second, then Katie Weaver.
Are all contenders right now.
Okay, so just on the inside, that is Elena Sonneson.
Contenders right here.
Now Becca Roraba making a charge. She's in the blue of the APU Nordic Center. She's just getting just behind Lauren Jortberg. You can see this is some tough double pulling. Normally this would be very, very fast, but you can see as the conditions start to deteriorate, it's a bit of a grind here. Okay, Elena Sonesson out front. Becca Rorabaugh making a charge. She's on the left side of your screen in the blue, overtaking Lauren Jortberg.
The qualifiers right now.
Elena Sonesson's going to do it. Becca Rorabaugh is going to take that second automatic spot.
So 2:03 and 2:18 will be moving to the
Lauren Jortberg
next
in
round.
third.
Elena Sonesson, number 2:03.
Shaylin Lowen just right there with the Thunder Bay team. So that is our fifth and final quarter-final heat. So now we're moving to our semifinal number one for our U20 women. 101, Jasmine Drolet. 104, Nina Seaman. 106, Magali Daoust. 107, Stella Duncan. 111, Jill Stephen. And 115, Kolibrai Drobish. So Kolibrai and Leah Scarrett were our lucky losers in that third heat from our U20 women. Okay, so this is our first semifinal U20 women. Top two automatically to the final, and then again we'll have two lucky losers from each heat to try and make it into the final. Okay, on the right side, 107 is Stella Duncan, the Alberta World Cup Academy. Then 104 is Nina Seaman in the green for Dartmouth. 106, Magali Daoust. And 101, Jasmine Drolet. 111, Jill Stephen. And 115, Kolibrai Drobish. And we're underway. This is our first semifinal. Jasmine Drolet there in the green in the middle. The little Terminator starting off strong here. Already opening up a gap on this field. Her older brother Remy will be racing later today, the big Terminator, but right now the little Terminator starting off very strong. Nice upright, powerful technique on that climb. She skis with Dartmouth University, originally with the Blackjack Club out of Roslyn, British Columbia. And that looks like Magali Daoust pulling ahead there. Not sure if there was someone that fell or whatever, but all of a sudden there is a big gap between second and then four skiers, third through sixth. So Jasmine Drolet out front, Magali Daoust second. Then we've got Jill Stephen sitting third, Stella Duncan in fourth, Nina Seaman just falling off the pace a little bit, and then 115, Kolibrai Drobish. Well, there is the little Terminator well out in front. And she's got to do this calculation in her head. How much does she want to be sure that she makes it to the final? And how much energy does she want to save? She'll get a bit of guidance, I'm sure, from one of her coaches shortly. Look at that. That's several seconds ahead, Magali Daoust, and then quite a big gap. And that was Nina Seaman moving back into third place. So she moved from about fifth spot back into third. And Stella Duncan in fourth there in the blue and black of the Alberta World Cup Academy. 111 is Jill Stephen sitting fifth, and sixth is Kolibrai Drobish. So Jasmine Drolet has been tearing up the East Coast University races, racing for Dartmouth. She also competed at the World U23 Championships in Norway. Of course, will be here next year, those events here next year. So here we are into the stadium. Nina Seaman now moving just ahead of Magali Daoust and Stella Duncan. So we've got 3 skiers there trying to get that second automatic spot to get into the final. So Nina Seaman, a strong endurance athlete, so if she can get to that final, she could get a great result. But it's always this balance between sprinting and endurance in these races. So here we go, final straightaway. Jasmine Drolet out in front, but coming up on the left, that is Stella Duncan. Stella Duncan double poling, starting to just move even with Nina Seaman. Starting now, there's just that slight uphill. And Stella Duncan is gonna get that second spot, I think. Stella Duncan in second, Jasmine Drolet in first, Nina Seaman in third, Magali Daoust in fourth. Kolibri Drobish in fifth, Jill Stephen in sixth. So definitely Jasmine Drolet and Stella Duncan moving on to the final, and that's going to be in just under 20 minutes. We'll now move to our second semi-final. 102, Sonia Schmidt. 103, Liliane Gagnon. 105, Anna Stewart. 109, Marley Molinaro. 113, Katja Semeniuk. And 116, Leah Scarrett. So Leah was the lucky loser, as they say, and is now into the semifinals. So there's Sonia Schmidt, Alberta World Cup Academy. Liliane Gagnon, Pierre Harvey Training Center. 105, Anna Stewart, Alberta World Cup Academy. 113, Katja Semeniuk, also with the Alberta World Cup Academy. Semifinal number 2, U20 women, trying to make it to the final, and win a Canadian championship. So Liliane Gagnon in the black and red, moving out front. There is, in fact, 4 Alberta World Cup Academy athletes in this race. They're wearing that blue arms and on the legs and the black on the body. That is the Alberta World Cup Academy race suit. So Liliane Gagnon leading up that climb. Oh, a little bit of a fall there. That was Sonia Schmidt, but back on her feet. Look at that. She had a little bit of a fall, but charged right back. Yeah, she is such a strong skier and just made these huge improvements over the last couple years. And you can see that fitness on that climb. She fell. She was probably about 4th spot, got back on her feet, and almost, caught Liliane Gagnon by the top of that climb. So, and that's, I think, where she's trying to make this race happen. She knows she wants to get ahead on this climb, get a little bit of distance, because she's just so strong at the classic technique. So 103 there just in the lead, that's Liliane Gagnon. 102, Sonia Schmidt on the left side there. There we go, Liliane Gagnon. This is a great angle just to see the distance. Liliane Gagnon ahead of Sonia Schmidt as they go into that little bit of a downhill. And they're gonna have that left-hand corner where we've had a few little mishaps and we've had one fall in this corner. Oh, look at that, Sonia Schmidt moving into the lead right there. Liliane Gagnon on second. Katja Semeniuk, I think, in 3rd spot. Yeah. 116, Leah Scarrett. 105, Anna Stewart. 109 is Marley Molinaro. But Sonia Schmidt, we had a fall on that first climb, and now she's well in front on this heat. This is our second semifinal heat for our U20 women. Oh, Liliane Gagnon, just making sure. How much of a gap do they have? Looks like she's got good skis. She's in that draft. She's just sitting up a little bit because she's got a little bit faster skis, and she would prefer to be in second.
Two skiers able to move away from the pack.
So Sonia Schmidt
Alberta
and Liliane Gagnon well out in front. 2 automatic qualifying spots, and then 4 skiers all close together.
head to head right now.
Trying to get those 2 lucky loser positions. It's just they can't hold up. There's no time for tactics. Those 4 skiers, they've got to get there on time. Anna Stewart now pulling ahead, showing some great double poling.
The lead of the race.
The Thunder Bay skier now training with the Alberta World Cup Academy in Canmore. Here we go, Liliane Gagnon, Sonia Schmidt. They are going to get those top 2 spots.
Look in the back just to see what distance
And here comes
between
Anna Stewart.
number 2.
I don't think there's enough real estate there for her to move into second, but she can hold on to third and try and get that lucky loser position. She's got to drive it to the line.
Actually, it was,
She lunges there. Is it enough?
1:02.
Is it enough for a lucky loser
First and
spot to get into the final, get a chance at a national championship? And in sprint racing, if you can get to that final,
pony up,
you can get on the podium. There's just so much that can happen.
semifinal.
Okay, now on to the open women semifinal number 1. 2:01, Julia Kern. That's 2:17, Caitlin Patterson. That is Julia Kern, 2:01. 2:15, Sammy Smith. 2:11, Novi McCabe. 2:24, Alexandra Lawson. And 2:07, Sydney Palmer Ledger. This is going to be really, really nice. This is going to be a great battle. So many big names. Julia Kern, a World Cup podium finisher. Sammy Smith, an up-and-coming skier. We saw her double pole finish not too long ago. Caitlin Patterson, an Olympian. Novi McCabe, an Olympian. Sydney Palmer Ledger, top finishes at the World U23 Championships. And Alexandra Lawson, who had a great finish in her heat. She is competing with some big names here.
Sydney Palmer, numéro 207, semifinal number 1.
And look at Sammy Smith. Oh my goodness. Sammy Smith going up that climb like nobody's business. She can double pole, and she just showed she can climb. Sammy Smith is not afraid of these skiers. She's up against World Cup skiers, up against Olympians, up against skiers that have finished very high in World Cups, in U23 World Championships. Now she's fallen back a little bit, but she is right in the mix, and we know she can double pole. My goodness. So Julia Kern leading this race, looking to be in control, doesn't look to be pushing at her maximum, saving a little bit. Then we've got Novi McCabe, 2:11, sitting second spot. Kern nicely around that corner. Caitlin Patterson in third. So Sammy Smith just falling back there in fifth spot. Can she get back with that group? Can she show off her double poling in that finishing straight? So Julia Kern in first, Novi McCabe in second, but Caitlin Patterson in the green and black on the left. Moving up, Sydney Palmer Ledger, Alexandra Lawson. We know she can finish strongly, and Sammy Smith. Do not count out Sammy Smith in that finish. Okay, on to the descent. Julia Kern now separating herself from this field. She is definitely the favorite here. Fourth in the Flume World Cup just a couple weeks ago. Seventh at Drammen in Norway. Crowd cheering them on. So Julia Kern there in the blue and red. Caitlin Patterson in the green and black. Novi McCabe sitting third in that white. That's the University of Utah Alexandra Lawson showing off her double poling, moving right up onto the skis of Novi McCabe. Sydney Palmer-Ledger moving on the outside. I think Alexandra Lawson wants to just get by Novi McCabe. She's just going to stay right there on the skis. And here comes Sammy Smith. I don't think there's enough for her to get back and challenge for one of those lucky loser positions, but don't count her out. Okay, there we go. Julia Kern, Caitlin Patterson, and now that sprint for third, trying to get those lucky loser positions. And I'll just draw your attention to the left-hand side of Sammy Smith. Can she do it? Man, look at that, Sammy Smith. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Sydney Palmer-Ledger is going to get that third spot, but fourth is very close. Novi McCabe and Sammy Smith in there. What a great race there. Alexandra Lawson, wow, there's an up-and-coming skier. Okay, now the semifinal 2 for the open women. 2:05 is Catherine Ogden in her final season. 2:02, Daria Beatty. 2:03, Elena Sonesson. 2:12, Laurence Dumais in her final season. 2:18, Becca Rorabaugh. And 2:20, Zoe Williams. This should be another very big battle here. Some just huge names. Daria Beatty, 18th at the Olympics in the 10K Classic. Elena Sonesson, 3-time American Birkebeiner winner. 2:05, Catherine Ogden, very, very strong skier with the Stratton Mountain School team. This is her last season. Laurence Dumais, Becca Rorabaugh, Zoe Williams. In the start gates. You can see they're using those start gates just to make sure you don't have any false starts. Daria Beatty and Laurence Dumais. So they're with the Alberta World Cup Academy. They're in the black and blue. Now there's also the APU Nordic team that has the blue body and the black arms and legs. 2 Stratton Mountain School athletes, Elena Sonesson and Catherine Ogden. We got a little bit of teamwork here. We've got Daria Beatty and Laurence Dumais on the outsides, and then Elena Sonesson moving into the lead. Now, Elena Sonesson, 3-time American Birkebeiner winner, and you know, we talked about obviously the U23 and Junior Worlds coming here to Whistler Olympic Park next year. But also the World Cup is coming back to North America in 2024. There'll be hopefully Canmore World Cups, and also Minneapolis World Cups that were unfortunately canceled in 2020, but they'll have some World Cups there. And then also some World Cups that involve the American Birkebeiner. I understand that 50K for the American Birkebeiner will also be a World Cup race in 2024. So lots of great ski events coming to North America, and certainly those World U23 and Junior Championships coming here to Whistler Olympic Park next year are going to be fantastic. So book your flight now, book your hotel room, book off the time off work so you can come to those U23 and Junior World Championships next year, I think late January to early February. Oh, a little bit of poles interacting there on that U-turn. 6 skiers, all very close. Yeah, broken pole at this point. I think pretty much race over, although you can see lots of coaches there with extra poles. But this is really, really close. And you want your right poles into that double pole finish, that 40, 50 seconds of double poling in the stadium. So this is our second semifinal heat for the open women. Top 2 automatically move on to the final. This is a very, very fast final. Could this produce our lucky loser position? So there's Daria Beatty in the tuck, in the light blue and black. Laurence Dumais on the outside. And then we've got Catherine Ogden and Elena Sonesson in the blue and red. And then just off the back, Becca Rorabaugh and Zoe Williams.
Teammate of our current leader, Daria Beatty. It looks like it's
So Daria Beatty pretty much leading out this entire heat. Laurence Dumais trying to come up on the inside. Catherine Ogden going onto the skis of Daria Beatty. Elena Sonesson holding that outside position. But this is a real grind. Normally this is such a fast double pole section, but this is more of a grinding double pole. And here we go into the finishing straight. Daria Beatty holding that lead position, but 4 skiers across. Daria Beatty, then on the outside, we've got Laurence Dumais. I think it's going to be Laurence Dumais and Daria Beatty that are going to hold on for those qualifying spots. Elena Sonesson and Catherine Ogden trying to get those lucky loser spots. Laurence Dumais happy with that, going to the final, a chance for a Canadian national championship. There, Daria Beatty and Laurence Dumais.
She's been my teammate once because she organized a charity event to raise money for the performance athlete from the Fondeur de Laurentine, and she asked me to.
We've got our U20 women's final coming up. And our lucky losers going into that will be Nina Seaman and Magali Daoust. So we're about 2 minutes away from our U20 women's final to declare our first U20 national champions today, also our Super Tour final champions. So we've kind of got 2 races in one here. We've got the Canadian Championships, the top Canadians, of course, will win that. And then the US Super Tour Finals, the prize money, the points is also on tap here. So they're getting ready. We're about a minute or so to this final. Who is going to be the Canadian champion for U20 women? Who is going to be the Super Tour sprint winner here today? So on the outside, Stella Duncan, 107. Also in that group, Jasmine Drolet, 101, 103, Lillian Gagnon, 102, Sonia Schmidt, 107, Stella Duncan, 104, Nina Seaman, and 106, Magali Daoust. So 104 and 106 were your lucky losers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Canadians and 1 American in this final. Who is it going to be? And we're underway, the U20 women's final here at Whistler Olympic Park to decide a Canadian champion and a Super Tour sprint champion here today. So Lillian Gagnon and Jasmine Drolet side by side. I think they both represented Canada at the World Junior Championships. Look at that. Wow, they are pulling away already. And look at that, Jasmine Drolet, just unbelievable fitness and core strength. Just that hill is pretty steep, and you got the turn, and it's getting pretty sloppy, and she didn't even, miss a beat there. So Jasmine Drolet in the lead, Lillian Gagnon in second, Magali Daoust in third. Magali Daoust, who is a lucky loser, could she finish on the podium here? So Sonia Schmidt is sitting there about third or fourth spot. She is 102 in the black and blue. Just off the pace is Stella Duncan, 107, and then Nina Seaman, 104. But it looks like Jasmine Drolet and Lillian Gagnon are side by side, and we've seen a lot of races between these two over the years. Jasmine Drolet pulling ahead just a little bit on Lillian Gagnon in black there. Then Sonia Schmidt. Magali Daoust in fourth. All Canadians, all looking for a spot on the podium. Unfortunately, there's only 3 steps on that podium. Now coming into this corner. Everyone through okay there. Magali Daoust just slowing down a little bit. There's Stella Duncan in 5th. And Nina Seaman in 6th spot, the Dartmouth skier, the only American in this final. You can hear the crowd cheering loud. Jasmine Drolet trying to hold off Lillian Gagnon, Sonia Schmidt, Magali Daoust. There's a medal possibility there for Magali Daoust. Can she do it? And it's gonna be that grinding double pole finish in the stadium. They've got this downhill. Lillian Gagnon looks like she might have a little bit better skis than Jasmine Drolet. That is the battle for a Canadian Championship gold medal. They are ski to ski here, coming into the stadium here at Whistler Olympic Park. Magali Daoust starting to move ahead. She's got a little bit faster skis. Sorry, that's Lillian Gagnon just moving ahead. Magali Daoust just on the 3rd spot position right now, but Lillian Gagnon now moving into the lead in black. Jasmine Drolet trying to hold on to her. Magali Daoust all alone in 3rd. These are going to be your top 3, but what positions are they going to finish in? Lillian Gagnon, a little bit faster skis. She moved ahead of Jasmine Drolet, and here is the final straightaway. Lillian Gagnon, Jasmine Drolet. Lillian Gagnon holding on for the lead here. Can she win the championship? Into the final 50 meters. Jasmine Drolet looking, but it's not enough. Lillian Gagnon, your national champion. Jasmine Drolet 2nd. And Magali Daoust gonna come in for the bronze medal. 4th spot is gonna be Nina Seaman, then Stella Duncan, and Sonia Schmidt in 6th. But Lillian Gagnon with the skis there, descending into the stadium, just pulling ahead. How does that sound? National champion Lillian Gagnon.
And she had an excellent glide, took a little bit of the draft from Drolet and immediately
Wow.
made her way out.
What a finish.
To take that momentum in the speed that
And there we go, in the center, your gold medalist, Lillian Gagnon. On the right, on your left, the silver medalist, Jasmine Drolet. And 3rd place, Magali Daoust, coming from a lucky loser position, but finishing on the podium. Well, I think Lillian Gagnon is going to have a big thank you for her wax tech. She had just slightly faster skis, but she also delivered an exciting finish. Totally in control, coming around that corner into that final sprint. Never looked like she was, she didn't have it under control, just put the power down and took a Canadian championship. So our open women will be coming up in about 4.5 minutes.
La présentation du côté de la catégorie Open chez les dames. Open chez les dames.
So just on the right there, that's Stella Duncan with the Alberta World Cup Academy in a strong race. So we're just going to look at the finish again.
We're about to get the start at 2:50 for the Open Women final. Join us for that event.
Okay, so here's a replay. This is the start here, and now they're coming into the stadium. They're coming into the stadium, and Lillian Gagnon pushing to the front there, just on the final straightaway.
L'événement est présenté par Blastox, Nordic Event Society with Cross Country BC, also with BC.
Okay, so that was a thrilling race. That was a thrilling finish there that we had. Lillian Gagnon just powering, you know, and it's quite a long double pole section there. She just got even with Jasmine Drolet, put on the jets, and came around that final corner and, you know, never even looked to the side. You know, Jasmine Drolet was just trying to see where's Lillian Gagnon. Lillian Gagnon laser focus and driving to the finish. And one thing you can see a little bit on our screen is the coaches testing their skis. So we're just going to go down to Olivia with an interview with our champion.
I'm here with U20 women winner Liliane Gagnon. Liliane, c'était comment ta course aujourd'hui?
Je suis vraiment bien pour vrai. Je me suis vraiment surprise. Puis je manquais d'énergie en semi. Puis là, en finale, j'avais quelqu'un à aller chercher. Puis j'ai tout donné. Là. Je suis vraiment contente.
Oui, félicitations. Ça veut dire quoi devenir championne canadienne aujourd'hui?
Oui, ben les sprints, c'est une de mes spécialités. Puis moins le classique, par contre. Aujourd'hui, c'était un peu plus touch and go pour moi. Mais ouais, ça prouve que je suis capable de sprinter en classique aussi. Fait que ça, je suis vraiment contente. Là.
Félicitations.
Merci.
Okay, so just for a translation there to English, Liliane Gagnon said, that was freaking awesome. So congratulations on that performance. A very deserved Canadian champion, and we'll see a lot more battles between Liliane and Jasmine in the years to come. Two great young athletes, and really great people, and just good perspective on competing and training. Okay, so coming up, our open women's final. We've got 4 Americans and 2 Canadians. So again, this is our Canadian championships and the US Super Tour finals. So there we go, 201, Julia Kern, 202, Daria Beatty, 212, Lawrence Dumais, 217, Caitlin Patterson, 207, Sydney Palmer-Ledger, 211, Novi McCabe. And this is pretty much an all-star final. Julia Kern, we've said it a few times, on the World Cup, 4th in Falun in the classic sprint. So one of the top classic sprinters in the world is here. Daria Beatty, great Olympics this year in Beijing, and lots of big names here. Laurence Dumais on the right-hand side. This is her last season. She's looking to close out. Could she close out with a Canadian championship? There's 2 Canadians in this final. One of those 2 will be the Canadian champion. So Julia Kern taking it out strong. Daria Beatty, very strong skier, but very tactically smart. She wants to get on the skis of Julia Kern. She knows Julia Kern. She's not going to take it out too easy. Julia Kern's going to try and keep a fairly fast pace because she knows she wants to get this win, and she's got the fitness and the power to lead from the start. And look at that, she's already pulling away in this climb. The other skiers not able to hold with her. So Julia Kern not playing any sort of tactical battles. She's moving out to the front and definitely trying to take charge here. Then we've got 3 skiers pretty much side by side. Daria Beatty in blue, Caitlin Patterson in the green and black. And Sydney Palmer, so that's Novi McCabe, 211, I think, sitting just kind of off the pace of Caitlin Patterson. Sydney Palmer-Ledger just moving behind Novi McCabe. And Laurence Dumais, 212, just the 6th position. So Julia Kern, the class of this field. She's a World Cup podium finisher in the team sprint. She won the 2nd day here for the Open Women in the 10K Classic. She looks over her shoulder. She's got this under control. See what kind of gap this is here. Whoa, just a little bit of a bobble. That would have been a disaster for Julia Kern, but she kept it upright. And Caitlin Patterson leading the 2 University of Utah skiers, Novi McCabe, then Daria Beatty, and then Laurence Dumais. So the battle for the Canadian Championship, right now, it's favoring Daria Beatty just behind those American skiers. So again, this is the Canadian Championships and the US Super Tour final. Lots of prize money on the line here. So Julia Kern, the Colonel, is out front. Caitlin Patterson, Sydney Palmer-Ledger, Daria Beatty moving into that 4th spot, Novi McCabe. But still lots of racing. They come down to the stadium. Normally, they come down to the stadium here at Whistler Olympic Park, and it's pretty quick to the finish, but it has been tough double polling here. Julia Kern, the Colonel, is going to pull away with the win here in the SuperTour Finals Classic Sprint. Caitlin Patterson sitting second. Sydney Palmer-Ledger in the white there, sitting third. Daria Beatty. Daria Beatty wants to get on the SuperTour podium here. She wants to show these Americans how she can finish this race. But there's the Colonel, Julia Kern, going to take the SuperTour final sprint here at Whistler Olympic Park. Now the sprint. Caitlin Patterson looking strong in green, but here comes Daria Beatty driving to the finish there on the left side in blue. Julia Kern celebrates the win. Caitlin Patterson is going to get second, and Daria Beatty third overall here in this race, but also the Canadian champion for the open women's sprint. Daria Beatty, another Canadian championship, capping off what's been a phenomenal season for Daria Beatty. But there is Julia Kern. Big smile, the former basketball player. It took an injury for her to get into cross-country skiing, and what a lucky injury that was. One of the best skiers in the world putting on a demonstration here. Caitlin Patterson in second. Sydney Palmer-Ledger just on the outside. There's Daria Beatty in the blue, the Canadian champion. And there's our top three. Julia Kern in first, Caitlin Patterson in second, Daria Beatty in third, and Daria Beatty, your National Open Women's Classic Sprint Champion 2022. Look at those smiles. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the replays there. Julia Kern, really just a really strong start. There we go. Look at that double pulling. You want a lesson in double pulling, you get it from Julia Kern. Now look at this little bobble here. That could have been it. And then we've got into that final right-hand turn into the stadium, and Daria Beatty was back in about fifth spot, but she came back in third. Julia Kern, what an athlete. Great smile. Okay, we're just going to go to a quick interview with Olivia down at the finish.
I'm here with race winner Julia Kern. Julia, can you just tell me about your day today? The rain has come back out for you just to cool you off because you've been on fire. Tell me about your day.
Oh, it's been a super fun day racing out here today. Our coach keeps saying the Callahan is a dynamic venue, and we got about everything today, from snow, sunshine, everything in between. I love wild weather, so I thrive in these conditions.
Amazing. And you have been on a tear. You've been unstoppable since the Olympics. Can you just describe to people how it feels to be in shape and racing well?
It's been an absolute blast. I just can't believe it, and I'm so excited we have these races here. Like, so happy to be here, see all these athletes, and extra fun to have some more races when the form's still good.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Olivia. That was great. She was definitely on fire. I think the snow is melting even more because of Julia Kern. So what a great race, and just great to have her here. You know, a lot of young skiers, they get to see this is what the best in the world looks like, Julia Kern. So that's just awesome to have her here and racing and just showing us how it's done. And she's just been so positive. She won on Sunday. She won today for the Open Women. I think she's here for the rest of the racing here this week. We've got the team sprints on Friday, which we'll be covering via live stream. Okay, here we're just going to go down for another interview here with Olivia at the finish.
I'm here with third place finisher Daria Beatty. Daria, can you just talk me through the final and your tactics in the final?
Yeah, it was a really tough field out there today, and I knew Julia was going to go hard off the start, so I just tried to position myself well into the first climb, and I opted for faster skis and a little less kick, so struggled a bit on the climbs trying to stay with the group, but I think it worked quite well. I was able to have a strong, fast finish and sneak onto the podium there in third.
Amazing, and you had an incredible Olympics, and you're back in Canada now, closing off the season at Nationals. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's so fun to be closing the season with Nationals. It's been a long time since I've been able to race a full nationals, and it's great to see so many young faces, so many people had their first national championship as well, and just to be able to share in the Canadian ski community again after so long is great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, great race by Daria Beatty. Yeah, so she went with a little more glide, and that paid off. That paid off with the finish there. And she's with the Alberta World Cup Academy. They've had some great results this week here at the National Championships. So we've got a few more, I think, replays coming up. So so it's just great to be here at the Whistler Olympic Park for the National Championships and with the U.S. Super Tour. It creates this really cool dynamic. You're walking around and just all the top athletes, U.S., Canadian, are here. We had the Paranordic Championships just earlier. Then we had our U20 women and our Open women racing. We still got our U20 men and Open men to come. But just some great battles out there. And Sammy Smith, just in the center there, she had that great finish in her racing. We might maybe just catch a little bit of it. Yeah, there we go. Sammy Smith overtaking some top skiers. That was a highlight. Maya McIsaac-Jones in her final race ever. Just lots of cheers for her. Great to see her going out. We had that little bit of a spill on that corner, and we'll see, you know, the conditions. They're just getting, just breaking down a bit with all the rain and so forth. Lots of heats that we've gone through for the women. We had our U20 final. That's Jasmine Drolet just in her semifinal. Okay, so coming up is our U20 men and Open men's races. We're going to have our quarterfinal heats for the U20 men, then our quarterfinal heats for the Open men. We expect the finals to go around 4:10 and 4:20 local time. But coming up, our first heat for the U20 men, we've got 334 Sasha Masson, 369 Joel Power, 336 Luke Fricker, 320 Max Mahaffey, 321 Robin Mason, and 330 Jack Condi. So Sasha Masson was the top qualifier for our U20 men. Oh, we got a bit of a false start there. That's our first false start on the day. So you can see Sasha Masson, he's in the black with the dark red leggings. He is the son of Alain Masson, the great skier and coach up in Whitehorse. Okay, so we're going to reset again. Not sure what happened there. Okay, our first quarterfinal for our U20 men. And we're underway. So there we go, Sasha Masson, just a little bit of a slow start, but open it up. Oh, broken pole, 311. That's Luke Fricker with a broken pole. That's going to be tough to recover from. Sasha Masson, then we've got Joel Power in there, 310. I think that was Luke Fricker that had that broken pole. See if we can get a replay of that a little later, see what happened there. But Sasha Masson not waiting for anyone. Then we've got Joel Power, Max Mahaffey, and there's Luke Fricker trying to fight back into this 311. Well, he's actually just pulling even with fourth and fifth there. That's Sasha Masson, originally from Whitehorse. Now races with the Pierre Harvey Training Center. Takes a look back. And you want to save some energy if you can, but you got to get to the next round. So it's always that calculation in your mind. So Sasha Masson, 301, your leader, first heat, U20 men, and Joel Power, Max Mahaffey, and Luke Fricker now in 4th spot. Luke Fricker has got a chance here. That would be some serious comeback there, and he's moving ahead because he lost a lot of time with that broken pole and then trying to get a pole, and he's almost pulling even with 3rd. And he's doing that with a spare pole. Now moving solely into 3rd spot. Luke Fricker, can he do it? Can he come back? Sasha Masson well out in front. Luke Fricker on that just first section, the straightaway at the start, broke a pole, took a while to get a spare pole back, but he's back into 3rd spot. So that's Sasha Masson on your screen, well out in front, our top qualifier with the Pierre Harvey Training Center. Then we've got Joel Power and Luke Fricker. That is your battle for the 2nd spot, but that skier just in 4th coming up. He's got a chance here. But Sasha Masson well out in front. You can see almost, they're all out of the track, so they're all feeling that it's faster out of the track. Here comes Luke Fricker in 3rd. So that is Robin Mason, I think, in 4th spot. So Sasha Masson can just ease up, save a bit of energy. He'll be one of the favorites to try and get to the final. And now, here we go. On the right is Joel Power. On the left is Luke Fricker. Can Luke Fricker come back from that early broken pole? It's a grind to the finish. Joel Power just staying ahead of Luke Fricker, I think. Well, Luke Fricker will have to hope to be a lucky loser, but look at that. I don't know if he even had the strap on. Oh, he's frustrated. But that was a great effort. Sasha Masson just acknowledging his great result there, winning his 1st heat. Okay, now moving on to our 2nd heat. We've got Luke Allen, Micah Steinberg, Hugo Vermette, Benjamin Croteau, Sebastien Perron, and Greg Baxter. So with that false start in that previous heat, we didn't have much time between the next heats, but that was more because of about the minute or so that we used up because of that false start. Okay, so 3:04, Luke Allen with Dartmouth in the green. It's your leader. On the outside, Benjamin Croteau in the yellow and black. That's 3:17. Sebastien Perron moving up. So Luke Allen, 3:04, leading out this heat. This is our 2nd of 5 heats for our U20 men. After this, we'll go to our open men's heats.
Sasha Masson qui est donc confirmé pour.
So they're all pretty close together here. Top 2 will move on. Luke Allen, your leader right now in green, Dartmouth University. So we're just 10 months away from those U23 and Junior World Championships here at Whistler Olympic Park. Late January to early February. Going to be some amazing racing, and that's all the Nordic events. Ski jumping, Nordic combined, and cross-country skiing. We already had the Continental Cup earlier this week with some great ski jumping and Nordic combined. So it's going to be a great week of racing coming up next year here for the U23 and Junior Worlds. Right now, this is our 2nd quarterfinal heat for our U20 men. It's getting close now. It's getting very close. Our early leader, Luke Allen, is just getting caught here by Hugo Vermette. And I don't know a lot about Hugo Vermette, but I do know he's from Mont-Saint-Anne, And I'm thinking he's maybe a younger brother of Roxanne Vermette, who I think in 1 year was a Canadian national ski champion and a Canadian national mountain bike champion. So comes from a great sporting family, I believe. And he's got the look. Look at that, cutting on the inside. I love the look of Hugo Vermette. Wow, he's very casual, just took that inside line. He's got some style here. Long double pull approach. And it's working well for him now. Luke Allen trying to go on the outside. And then Micah Steinberg sitting third spot, I believe. So what is this? How is this going to work out here into the finish? So we've got on the left Luke Allen, Dartmouth. On the right, Hugo Vermette from Mont-Saint-Anne. And then Micah Steinberg sitting in third spot, trying to get just a little bit faster, get that lucky loser spot. Hugo Vermette, casual, no problem, wins that heat. Also finishing up there, Benjamin Croteau, Sebastien Perron, and Gregory Baxter. Okay, now our third heat for the U20 men. 3:05, Derek Dooling. 3:06, Kendon Machinter. 3:15, Asa Chalmers. 3:16, Xavier Lefebvre. 3:25, Antoine Nicole. And 3:26, Philippe Bégin. So that is our third heat for our U20 men. Derek Dooling, he was, I believe, one of Canada's representatives at the Youth Olympic Games in 2019, I believe, if I got that right, 2020. He's originally from Whitehorse. Yeah, and I believe he's now with University of Alaska at Anchorage. So he's wearing that green with the yellow legs. Originally from the Yukon. Asa Chalmers there leading it out. He's in the green of Dartmouth. 3:06 is Kendon Machinter. And look at this, Antoine Nicole moving up on the inside there in the red.
Switching to double pulling right here, catching up some speed and some glide.
So Kendon Machinter in the lead right now. That's 3:06.
Sky opening up, showing beautiful blue sky. Like my friend Peter Grace would say, it's a bluebird sky.
So Kendon Machinter with Walden Nordic. Also a great runner, so multi-sport athlete leading this out. 3:06, Kendon Machinter. Second is Derek Dooling. He is in that green and yellow of University of Alaska at Anchorage. Then in third place is Asa Chalmers from Dartmouth. This is our third heat for the U20 men.
Celebrating her birthday right here with us at the Canadian Nationals.
Ooh, Derek just galloping around that corner. Oh, and we got a skier down and no broken pole, but that was Antoine Nicole sliding out on that, and he's fallen from fourth into fifth. He has lost that front group. So that hairpin corner claiming another victim. Heartbreak corner. So three skiers now in front. See there in the distance. Antoine Nicole trying to get back. It's going to be tough to get one of those lucky loser positions after a fall like that, but he's not giving up. So here we go. Three skiers, Derek Dooling, Kendon Machinter, and Asa Chalmers. Derek Dooling just trying to make sure it doesn't cross over the skis there of Kendon Machinter. Derek Dooling, big, tall, strong skier. So he's staying out of the track. And Kenan Mashinter saying, well, I think that's the quickest way to go as well. Just trying to hold off Asa Chalmers. So 2 automatic qualifiers. Derek Dooling leading it out. Number 305, Kenan Mashinter. Looks like they're going to do it. Should be a easy finish for these two. Derek Dooling just making sure he's got it. So Derek Dooling definitely looking very strong. Someone to look for here moving on to the finals. But this was our quarterfinal heat number 3. Derek Dooling, Kenan Mashinter, Asa Chalmers, Antoine Nicole fighting back for 4th. Also in there, Xavier Lefebvre and Philippe Bégin. Okay, our 4th heat now for the U20 men. Max Holman, 302, 309, Wally McGill, 312, Alexander Bourque, 319, Jules Saint-Jean, 322, Nathan Savage, and 329, Julien Odette Welke. So that is Alexander Bourque. Maximilian Holman, that's a great name. There's 319, Jules Saint-Jean. Nathan Savage, another great name, pulling up to the start line. And Julien Odette Welke. They all have great names, but some are a little more greater than others. In the start gates. And held for a little while. And here we go, we're off. 4th heat for the U20 man. Maximilian Holman, 302, the top qualifier. He's in that 2nd lane in the white with the Canadian, a red Canadian flag of Big Thunder on his shoulder. And he's gonna lead it out. Well, he's gonna be in 2nd spot, 309, Wally McGill. Side by side with Max Holman. Max Holman looking really strong on this climb. 2 different styles of techniques there between Max Holman and Wally McGill, but getting it done either way. Then Alexander Bourque there in the red arms, black race suit. Max Holman looking really efficient. And again, if you're joining us from Thunder Bay, as we said earlier, 45 centimeters of snow in Thunder Bay. It's probably a school closure day, and you're probably watching online, cheering on local athlete Max Holman out of Thunder Bay. Thank you for all the people joining our live stream here. It's been lots of great racing, and it looks like a bit of sun almost coming out there. So it was very cloudy, very rainy earlier. We were talking about earlier the salting the course to try and firm it up, but you can only do so much, breaking down in some spots. But everyone okay through Heartbreak Corner, that hairpin corner. Now they come back towards the stadium. So Alexander Bourque is moving up there, even with Wally McGill. Nathan Savage there just at the back in the orange.
Very good glide. You can see that every movement that he's making, he's taking a lot of distance right there. Should be very helpful in that downhill section as he's taking the top position.
Okay, there's Max Holman well out in front. Wow. Staying very relaxed here. A little bit of trouble, but not too bad. He knows he's got it. Staying a tuck, save his energy. Our second best qualifier looking very strong out there, dominating his heat. But we've got a battle on our hands between second and third. Alexander Bork and Wally McGill.
Alors voilà, Parac est en train de se terminer. On invite immédiatement donc les spectateurs et les athlètes pour la remise.
So Wally McGill just getting a bit of an edge here on Alexander Bork. And look at this Orford athlete.
We're now ready to proceed to the award for the U20.
I think that's Jules St. Jean. He's coming on strong. Don't count him out. But that's Maximilian Holman. He's going to win his heat. This is the 4th heat. He's going to take it easily. And now we've got the sprint for that second automatic qualifying spot. Alexander Bork on your left. Wally McGill on your right. And look at this, Alexander Bork turning it in overdrive. And he is going to get that second spot. And Jules St. Jean just kept going right to the finish. I think he is going to be in 4 spots. Still a possibility for a lucky loser position. Okay, our 5th and final U20 men's quarterfinal heat. Guillaume Pelchat, 303, 308, Alexander Moorer, 313, Fred Albrechtsen, 318, Owen Pym, 323, Raphael Gouraud, and 328, Ian Meyer. That's Guillaume Pelchat right there. 308 is Alexander Moorer, an American skier with the University of Colorado. There is Fred Albrechtsen. Owen Pym, who is from Red Deer, Alberta. Raphael Gouraud, and then Ian Meyer just on the outside there. So this will be our 5th and final quarterfinal heat. Start gates. So Guillaume Pelchat just taking it out. Alexander Moorer, he's University of Colorado athlete from the US, sitting, he was in 2nd spot, but he's just fallen back a bit. But this is a very close heat. One thing that's been great about this event, and also a lot of sponsors locking in for next year's U23 and Junior World Championships. So just some great sponsorship. C-SPAN, which is headquartered here in Vancouver. C-SPAN, one of the world's largest marine transport companies. We thank Kyle Washington and family for their support through C-SPAN. They're really important sponsor to this event. Beneath Apparel, another Vancouver company, and they make the world's most comfortable and sustainable underwear. We thank Zach Boone, Kyle Washington, and family for their support on that one. Blackcomb Snowmobile, based right here in the Callahan Valley. Blackcomb Snowmobile provides responsible backcountry snow tours. So some of our great sponsors. So our leaders so far, so Guillaume Pelchat is sitting in 2nd spot. So that is Owen Pym out of Red Deer. This is really close. I think just falling off the pace there is Raphael Gouraud from the Nakurtok team. Great club out of the Ottawa and Hull area. But those 5 skiers, I think any 2 of them could be our automatic qualifiers. So they're just heading into that downhill. We're going to see them shortly come out of that downhill. So Guillaume Pelchat in the lead. Alexander Moorer just stepping to that outside track. Owen Pym sitting about 3rd spot. Oh, and very close, a little bit of touching of the skis there in that corner. You can see how it's getting chewed up in that corner. Okay, so this is Alexander Moorer. He's pulling out front, the University of Colorado athlete. Then Guillaume Pelchat. Third is Owen Pym right now. He's on that inside lane. Fred Albrechtsen in fourth. And Ian Meyer in fifth right now. And then sixth is Raphael Gouraud. So Alexander Moorer turning on the jets with the double poling. He's gonna take this heat. Guillaume Pelchat moving ahead now. Owen Pym trying to hold on to third ahead of Fred Albrechtsen. This is our fifth and final heat, and it's going to be taken by Alexander Moorer of the University of Colorado. Guillaume Pelchat in second spot. That looked like Owen Pym in third. Okay, now we are into the open men's quarterfinals. Some very, very big names here. 401, Andreas Kirking. 410, Pierre Graul-Johnson. 411, Logan Diekman. 420, Ari Endestad. 421, Walker Hall. And 430, BC's Michael Murdoch. So that is our first heat of 5 for our open men. So Andreas Kirking there, 401, former Norwegian national junior champion. Ari Endestad, may recognize that name, Endestad. Odin Endestad is his dad, former US Olympic skier. That's Michael Murdoch, 430. Skis out of Whistler, also with the University of British Columbia. So he'll be a fan favorite here at Whistler Olympic Park. Gets a nice start. Michael Murdoch on the outside in the blue gets a nice start. Logan Diekman in there as well. Just seeing that, looks like a, that's Walker Hall sitting in second. He is with the University of Utah. Logan Diekman, 411. Andreas Kirking is sitting fourth. He was our top qualifier, and he's got caught up in a little bit of traffic. See if that's his strategy or if he's just fallen back. Struggling on that climb a bit. And that is Michael Murdoch leading it out. You can hear the cheers for Michael Murdoch. Can he hang on here? This is still pretty early in this sprint, but he's making the best of it.
Canada, from Canada, and from Yukon, and the Alberta.
So Michael Murdoch still in the lead. Andreas Kirking just kind of at the back there a little bit. Okay, so now moving up on the right is Pierre Graul-Johnson. If I recall correctly, was the 2017 juvenile boys national champion in Canmore in the classic sprint. So he's a very strong sprinter. He had a silver medal at the Canada Winter Games a few years ago in Red Deer, 2019. Really strong double polar. There's Ari Endestad just at the back of this pack. So Pierre Graul-Johnson leading out, and now Andreas Kirking. 401 skis with the University of Denver now, sitting in second spot. 411 Logan Diekman, 421 Walker Hall with the University of Utah. Michael Murdoch back in fifth spot, but still in the mix.
International podium from Massachusetts, United States, Julia Kern.
So it'll be interesting to see here. These two guys are very strong double pole skiers. See how they tackle this this stadium section. So on the right is Pierre Graul-Johnson. On the left is Andreas Kirking. Andreas was our top qualifier. Then Logan Diekman and Walker Hall sitting 3rd and 4th. You can see Andreas Kirking pulling away on that straightaway, so showing that he can hold back early on in a race, save some energy, and just turn it on in the stadium. Pierre Grawl Johnson looks like he's going to get that 2nd spot. But Walker Hall charging here. Logan Diekman, it's not over yet. Oh, here we go, Logan Diekman. He's gonna get 2nd. Oh, he overtook Pierre Grawl Johnson right at the finish there. Not sure if Pierre knew he was coming up so quickly. But Logan Diekman's gonna take that 2nd spot. Okay, now moving on to our open men's 2nd quarterfinal heat. 4:04, Antoine Cyr. 4:07, Graham Ritchie. 4:14, Bill Harmeyer. 4:17, Chantal Bonnerud. 4:24, Etienne Hibert. And 4:27, Nicolas Beaulieu. Now, what's interesting about this one is we just see Chantal Bonnerud just in the screen there. We've got Antoine Cyr, 4:04, and Graham Ritchie, 4:07, who teamed up for the team sprint in the Beijing Olympics, and they were right in that battle, that exciting battle. They finished 5th in the end, but they were right in that mix as teammates. But now they're battling each other, and I'm sure they're both thinking about possible Canadian championship. But that team sprint, one of Canada's great skiing memories, I think, going forward. Antoine Cyr and Graham Ritchie battling with all the top teams, top skiers, and coming out with a 5th place finish at the Olympics. And they're both, I think, around 23, 24 years of age. So lots of skiing still in their future career. Okay, so this is our 2nd quarterfinal. We're underway. For the bronze medal from the University of Utah. We've got, that's 4:14 Bill Harmeyer in the SMS race suit, the dark blue and the red calves. But that's Antoine Cyr, 4:04 in the lead. Nicolas Beaulieu trying to get out front. Graham Ritchie in the white there, just staying on the outside. That's Bill Harmeyer in front of your screen. Nicolas Beaulieu. Nicolas with the Orford Club, here Sherbrooke, Quebec. So Antoine Cyr just moving up there, 4:04. And Graham Ritchie, you can see on the right-hand side in the white, 4:07. They're starting to move up through this field. There we go, at the front. Antoine Cyr, Graham Ritchie. Interesting about Graham Ritchie, he was a hockey player making the switch to cross-country skiing when he was probably 15 or 16 years old, and very quickly showed that he had a lot of promise, and he has kept building on that promise and performing well on the World Cup and at the Olympics. And I remember Antoine Cyr 5 years ago at the Canmore National Championships was dealing with sickness, dealing with injury, and just trying to restart his training. And I think he's taken a pretty pragmatic and positive approach about his training and really delivered some great results. Really one of top skiers in Canada over the last few years. And there we go. Antoine Cyr leading this race. Graham Ritchie, 4:07 in second. Etienne Hibert, who is a former junior Canadian sprint champion, sitting 3rd spot. He races with the Pierre Harvey Training Center. Antoine Cyr, Graham Ritchie showing off some fast skis. They're kind of smiling, but yeah, you don't want to take this for granted. They're both very strong skiers, and Etienne Hibert who has a very strong pedigree as well, would very much like to finish ahead of those two skiers, just to show the potential he's got. And here we go. So Graham Ritchie's moved to the outside in the white. Antoine Cyr in the middle in the black. Etienne Hubert on Antoine Cyr's skis. And on the inside, that's Chantal Bonnerud, I believe with Northern Michigan University. Bill Harmeyer in 5th. And Nicolas Beaulieu, our early leader, has fallen back to 6th. Okay, here is the sprint to the finish. And this is going to be close. Graham Ritchie leading it out. Chantal Bonnerud trying to move ahead of Antoine Cyr. And Antoine Cyr, oh, he's just found an extra gear. You could see him grit his teeth. He wanted that automatic spot. And he had that extra gear, and he did it. So first was, I looked pretty close between Graham Ritchie and Antoine Cyr. Chantal Bonnerud in 3rd. Etienne Hubert, Bill Harmeyer, and Nicolas Beaulieu. But Antoine Cyr and Graham Ritchie moving on to the semifinals. Okay, coming up next, our 3rd quarterfinal heat. Some more big names in this heat. 405, Xavier McKeever. 406, Olivier Levaye. 415, Russell Kennedy. 416, Magnus Boo. 425, Finn O'Connell. And 426, John Steele Hagenbuch. Talking about great names, Johnny Steele Hagenbuch is a great name. Now another name in there, Magnus Boo, you may recall him as Magnus Kim. He competed in the 2018 Pyeongchang Olympics for Korea. He actually was born in Korea, moved to Norway, heard about the Olympics coming to Pyeongchang, Korea, and to set that as his goal and to make that team, he went back to his Korean citizenship, qualified and raced the 2018 Olympics as a 19-year-old. He also dominant in the 2016 Youth Olympics in Lillehammer. Last year, dominating the NCAA races, 2 national championships. Just a little bit off the pace this year, but he's had some strong finishes recently and definitely one of the top skiers here, but he only qualified 16th. Not sure if he was saving energy or if that's just where he slotted in. Now in the front here, that's Russell Kennedy. He is former Olympian, 2018, also Brian McKeever's guide at the Paralympics, where they've won many, many medals together. So he's leading that. That's 415. Also in there, Xavier McKeever, who had many top results at the recent World Junior Championships. He'll, next year, he'll qualify again for World Juniors. So hopefully he'll be here racing at Whistler Olympic Park for some more top finishers. So he'll be one of the skiers to really cheer for next year, hopefully here at Whistler Olympic Park. Right now, we've got Russell Kennedy in the lead and Xavier McKeever in 2nd. Then Olivier Levaye, a Olympian for Canada at Beijing. I think he had a top 30 result. Great Olympics for Olivier Levaye. So 3 really good skiers. Xavier McKeever is now just moving into the lead, but Magnus Boo is in there. And Johnny Steele Hagenbuch is sitting in 5th spot. Now here comes Magnus Boo. He's sitting in 3rd spot right now. Really strong double polar. And interesting story. I heard this from Adam Verrier in the US. He was talking with Magnus Boo and said, how did you get so good at double poling? He's double poled a lot of big races in the States. And he said, as a kid, growing up in Oslo, him and his buddies used to go roller skiing, and they would roller ski for 4 or 5 hours, and the thing was you could only double pull up and down very hilly Oslo, and he says that's how he learned to be a really strong double puller. So, there's worse things that a teenager could do, but it apparently has paid off here for Magnus Boo. And we'll see how he does in this tough finish here in the stadium.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so we've got Xavi McKeever leading it out. On his tail is Magnus Boo, but he's just moved just in between Xavi and Russell Kennedy. Then we've got Olivier Levaye. So Magnus Boo moving back and forth, trying to find the right track. He wants to be in a position to push here to the finish. As we see, it is a long final straightaway. So here we go. Xavi McKeever, 4:05 in the lead. Magnus Boo with the, I believe, University of Colorado. He's right on the skis of Xavi McKeever. Russell Kennedy on the left. And here we go. It's going to be a drive to the finish. 3 skiers all side by side. Photo finish. I can't call that. That was pretty equal for 3 skiers. Maybe we can get a replay of that and see if we can get a little bit closer in on that. But we've got our next heat coming up. This will be our 4th heat, but that was really close. Once I get official results, I'll let you know on that. But coming up, our 4th heat, 4:02, Luke Jaeger, 4:09, Noel Keefe, 4:12, Bjorn Rickhausen, 4:19, the Governor, Connor McGovern, 4:22, Brian Bushy, 4:29, Joe Davies. Joe Davies, another local BC skier. He'll be getting lots of big cheers. So this is 4:12. That's Bjorn Rickhausen. Then we've got 4:02, Luke Jaeger, the Olympian. 4:09, Noel Keefe. So there's 3 University of Utah skiers so far. The Governor, Connor McGovern. With Lakehead University, Brian Bushy, another University of Utah skier, and then Joe Davies. So he skis with one of the Alaska universities now, but he is a local skier. So look at that, 4 University of Utah skiers in this heat. Interesting to see if there's any sort of teamwork or not, but I think all these skiers want to get to the semifinals. Nice clean start. So Luke Jaeger competed at the 2022 Beijing Olympics, made it into the heats for the skate sprints. So he's going to lead it out. 4:09, Noel Keefe, teammate on the University of Utah team. Then Bjorn Rickhausen. Staying right in there, the Governor. Oh, the Governor, Connor McGovern, is down. The Winnipeg skier now training out of Thunder Bay, just caught a ski, and that's really going to hurt his chances. He qualified 19th, was looking to get through the heats, but that's going to be tough to come back from, but he's going to push forward. We've seen a few falls on that climb. They're making that turn a little bit congested, and there is a technique zone in there, so they have to stride it. They can't double pull it. And seen a few falls there, but we'll see. Connor's fighting back. We'll see if there's a little bit of tactics here amongst these skiers, allowing him to get back into the running. That's Luke Jaeger in the lead, 2022 Olympian. Then Noel Keefe, 4:09, Bjorn Rickhausen. So it's University of Utah, 1, 2, and 3 around Heartbreak Corner. And there's Utah again, that's Brian Bushy. Then Joe Davies, still sitting there at 5th spot. Connor McGovern, not too far back, trying to fight back to get into this race. Connor deciding to double pull that little climb, and really might be the right thing to do to get back in this race. The 3 skiers, Luke Jaeger starting to pull away, then 2 skiers side by side, Noel Keefe and Bjorn Rickhausen. Brian Bushy falling off the pace, Joe Davies, BC athlete, getting the cheers from the crowd. Connor McGovern, the Governor, sitting 6th spot. That's Luke Jaeger, University of Utah. well out in front. Oh, look at that. And then 2 skiers battling for that second automatic spot, Noel Keefe and Bjorn Rickhausen. So that's Bjorn Rickhausen leading it out. Then we've got Noel Keefe, Brian Bushy trying to make a charge here. So Luke Jagger gonna take this heat easily, but now the double pole sprint. Bjorn Rickhausen on the left, Noel Keefe on the right. It is very close. In fact, Luke Jagger has to pick it up to make sure he's not overtaken. Luke Jagger's got the automatic spot and another photo finish for second spot. Definitely cannot call that. And then Connor McGovern fighting back for 5th spot, just ahead of Joe Davies, the Lakehead University athlete. Okay, we're now moving on to our 5th and final heat for our open men. 403, Logan Hanneman. 408, Leo Grambois. 413, Ole Marius Kirking. 418, Christopher Karsrud. 423, the Flamingo Julian Smith. And 428, Reed Godfrey, one half of the Godfather twins out of Canmore. We don't quite have official results yet that I can see for that first semifinal. Sorry, that first, I'm just looking at now. Let's see what we've got here. So for that third heat, Magnus Boo and Xavier McKeever are going to be the automatic winners from that very close heat, and that previous one still don't have an updated result. But that photo finish, Xavier McKeever, Magnus Boo, they are moving on to the semifinal for sure. Okay, now our 5th quarterfinal. They're in the gates. And we're underway here. Some very big names. Leo Granbois, 408, former world champion biathlete. He's converted fully to cross-country skiing. Logan Hanneman, top skier from the US. I think maybe a national championship, but certainly podiums at the national championship. Ole Marius Kirking, he is the, I believe, younger brother of Andreas Kirking, who was racing, he's our top qualifier. Julian Smith. Julian, he had a really, really strong start to his season, really dominating the NORAM circuit, but just not quite working out for the Olympic trials. But there's Julian Smith charging into your picture there. He's in the white with that greenish stripe on the outside of the Thunder Bay Training Center. That's Julian Smith, 423. 403, Logan Hanneman in the blue of the APU Nordic Center, sitting in first. Just behind him, 413, Ole Marius Kirking. So they're just getting to the top of that climb, and it's very close in this heat. Logan Hanneman in the blue of APU Nordic. Julian Smith slotting into second spot, just ahead of Ole Marius Kirking. And look at that, Julian Smith just stepping out of the track, moving to the front. And we saw Graham Ritchie, who was also with the Thunder Bay Training Center with some really good skis. So we'll just see how this shapes up for Julian Smith, also with the Thunder Bay Training Center. So again, I was mentioning it earlier, some skiers going with zeros, some skiers going with a bit of soft blister. A lot of debate about how big a wax pocket to go with on this course. And Julian Smith, he was double poling that little bit of a climb. But striding here. Oh, a little bit of a tie up there for Ole Marius Kirking, and that has pushed him back to 5th spot. Just got caught up in some poles there. So this is our fifth quarterfinal, our final quarterfinal. We're going to be going to our semifinals for our U20 men shortly. Very close, a little bit of pushing there in that corner. Everyone's trying to hold their spot. And now let's see the run out. Julian Smith staying in that tuck, leading it out. Trying to pick the right lane. He's going to stay in some tracks. Ole Marius Kirking has come back after that mishap. He has fought back.
Let's go, Jules!
So Julian Smith going to lead around that corner. He's going to have that inside spot. Going to be able to control it, I think, through that corner. And here we go. Ole Marius Kirking coming back from that little bit of a problem. Oh, bit of a tangle there for Logan Hanneman and Reed Godfrey, but Julian Smith and Ole Marius Kirking. Oh, now Karsrud making a charge, but not enough. Ole Marius Kirking and Julian Smith, the Flamingo, going to move on. We'll see about the lucky loser spots. That was another great battle, and things are just heating up more and more as we go into our semifinals for our U20 men. So it was Asa Chalmers and Micah Steinberg being the lucky losers getting into these semifinals. So here we go, semifinal number 1. 334, Sasha Masson. 305, Derek Dooling. 407, the very casual Hugo Vermette. 345, Luke Allen. 369, Joel Power. And 315, Asa Chalmers. That is Joel Power. That is Hugo Vermette going with this great style there. That is Derek Dooling, University of Alaska at Anchorage. That is Sasha Masson, our number 1 qualifier. That is catch that number. There's Asa Chalmers in there, and Luke Allen. Luke Allen, 304. So 2 Dartmouth athletes in this race in the green. And also in the green there, that tall skier is Derek Dooling with the yellow on the arms. Okay, so 310, just falling off the pace there a little bit, Joel Power, but this is our first semifinal. Sasha Masson leading it out, charging up that climb. Asa Chalmers, one of our lucky losers, sitting in 2nd spot. Hugo Vermette holding 3rd spot. 4th is Derek Dooling. 5th, Joel Power, and 6th is Luke Allen. Well, Sasha Masson pulling away here. Sasha Masson trying to take a clean semifinal, get to that final. Oh, we've got a skier down, Dartmouth. That's Asa Chalmers. He was a lucky loser. He was taking advantage of the semifinal, but it's going to be very hard for him to get back into this, and that has allowed, I think, Derek Dooling to move into 2nd. Derek Dooling is in 2nd. You just saw him for a little bit on the right hand of your screen. Sasha Masson, no problem whatsoever. Races with the Pierre Harvey Training Center. Way out in front. Safely through Heartbreak Corner. Derek Dooling doing the dance. Luke Allen, I think, moved into 3rd. Hugo Vermette in 4th. Hugo Vermette's got his work cut out for him right now. Joel Power in 5th. So it looks like Derek Dooling's just closing that gap a bit to Sasha Masson, but I think Sasha's just saving a bit of gas for that final. So they'll be descending into the stadium. Let's see, oh, that's only a few seconds, couple seconds, I think, between Sasha Masson and Derek Dooling.
And Luke Allen a little ways behind. Sash Masson, I think, doing the math, I think he doesn't want to hold back too much here. And look at that, Derek dueling skis. He caught right up to Sasha Masson and moved ahead. And now here comes Luke Allen. Sasha Masson's he's got to get her going. If he wants to move on to the final, he was way out in front. But Derek dueling with the very fast skis. Oh my goodness, Sasha Masson, our #1 seed, is at risk here of missing those automatic spots. That's Derek dueling, Luke Allen, and Sasha Masson. Sasha Masson, 3rd spot, gritting his teeth, trying to get at least a time that could get him into the final. Derek dueling the skis,
Semi-final
and the
number
power
1 for the U20.
have done it. He'll go to the final.
Number
Luke Allen going to the final, and will Sasha Masson make it into the final? Oh my, Hugo Vermette. I think maybe his day might be done, but showing off some great style there. Definitely a skier we want to watch going forward. Here is our second U20 men's semifinal. 302, Maximilian Holman. 308, Alexander Moorer. 303, Guillaume Pelchat. 306, Kendon Maschinter. 312, Alexander Bork. And 307, Micah Steinberg. So in the heats, Maximilian Holman looked very, very strong. Can he get through this heat? Can he get through to the final and have a chance at a national championship?
Alexander Bourque, Micah Steinberg, number 307, 307.
This is our second semifinal, U20 men, our semifinals for the open men coming up right after this. Just in the start gates. So it looks like, I'm just looking back at the open men. So our lucky losers going to the semifinal, Bill Harmeyer and Chantel Bonnaroo. We'll move on to the semifinals. But right now, this is our second semifinal for the U20 men.
Number 2 for the U20 men.
Alexander Bork just on the inside there in the red. Gonna get that lead spot going into that corner. Kendon Maschinter, he is moving into the lead. Maximilian Holman, 302. He's kind of boxed in a little bit there on the inside. That's an okay position. And Max Holman, just trying to avoid getting his pole stepped on. He's just lifting up that pole. Wow, Max Holman. Look at that. He was I was just gonna say just perfect skiing there, but just a little bit of a slip up. But he's back in the lead. Alexander Bork in second. Kendon Maschinter in third. Guillaume Pelchat in fourth. Alexander Moorer in fifth. And Micah Steinberg in sixth. Our second semifinal, Maximilian Holman dominating his quarterfinal heat. Looking good here so far, but we saw with Sasha Masson in the previous semifinal, well out in front, but still need the skis on that final downhill, need the double poling in the stadium. Into Heartbreak Corner. Whoa, stay upright, there we go. Alexander Bork in third. So we've got Kendon Maschinter. Just a great race here. Right side by side with Maximilian Holman. Then we've got Alexander Bork in third spot. Second semifinal for the U20 men. Trying to get those final spots to go into the final. Have a chance at a national championship. Have a chance at winning a U.S. Super Tour event.
Even if we had a huge gap in the uphill or the upper section.
So they're up, just going up that last little uphill. Now that chicane downhill. Maximilian Holman looking good so far. Kendon Mashinter, solid spot. Guillaume Pelchat moving up into third spot. On the descent, let's check the skis. So again, welcome all our folks joining us from Thunder Bay. 45 centimeters of snow today. Lots of people at home watching this race live. This is our second semifinal for U20 men. Maximilian Holman, your leader. Then we've got Kendon Mashinter trying to hold on for that second spot. But Guillaume Pelchat trying to make a last-second charge here. I don't think it's going to be enough. Holman. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the sprint. Holman's going to take it, but Alexander Moore now making a charge. But it's going to be Kendon Mashinter. Yes, Kendon Mashinter takes second. Alexander Moore third. Guillaume Pelchat fourth. Alexander Bork fifth. And Micah Steinberg in sixth.
Making it very strong impression as well for that final. That was
okay, we're going to come up with our
who made quite a comeback, but
open men's semifinal in a couple minutes.
What seems to be a very fast semifinal.
So just looking at the times here, just seeing who is going to move forward in our U20 men. I'll let you know once we've got that updated. Right now, our open men's semifinal number 1. 2 Canadians, 2 Norwegians, 2 Americans. So 401, Andreas Kirking. 407, Graham Ritchie. 416, Magnus Boo. 404, Antoine Cyr. 411, Logan Diekman. And 414, Bill Harmeyer. Bill was the lucky loser to get into this semifinal. So it's Norway versus the US versus Canada. Kind of like a battle royale tag team match, but not a whole lot of teamwork in sprint skiing. You see it occasionally on the World Cup. You might see it a little bit in the Women's Olympics. I think the Swedish team in the women's sprint, they really went out hard to set up Joanna Sudlin. You see it a little bit, but for the most part, all these skiers want to get to that final, want to have a chance at a national championship or a SuperTour win. The points, the prize money, and the prestige on the line, they can get to that final. And we're underway here, our first semifinal for the Open Men 2022 Canadian Ski Championships and SuperTour Finals. Welcome everyone to our broadcast. We've had some great racing. We're through the semifinals for our U20 men. We're now starting the semifinals for our open men. Lots of big names. And I think we're almost at that stage where it's anyone's to win. All these skiers, I think, have a chance to win. So that is Logan Diekman, 411. Then we've got 404, Antoine Cyr. Graham Ritchie sitting third in the distance there on the outside. Andreas Kirking with the University of Denver sitting in 4th spot. Magnus Boo, always dangerous, sitting in 5th spot. And Bill Harmeyer, our lucky loser, one of our lucky losers from the quarterfinals, still hanging in there. This is our semifinal, first of 2 semifinals. That is Antoine Cyr, and Antoine Cyr, 2022 Olympian, along with Graham Ritchie. Graham Ritchie sitting 2nd spot. So those two were teammates in the team sprint, 5th place at the Beijing Olympics. And you can see the skis that Graham Ritchie had. He was actually, you don't see both hands go onto the skier's poles in front of him. Oh, heartbreak corner. And they're all through heartbreak corner. They all want that position. And Antoine Cyr, he was on the outside, but he was able to slingshot back into 1st. And I was talking with Andy Newell about this final downhill corner, and he said sometimes if you're sitting third or fourth spot, you want to take it wide. It's a little bit longer, but usually faster. You can usually just swing out on the outside. And he said that's often a good strategy, and often you can move from third or fourth into second or first position if you take that final corner on the outside, if you're in a large group. We'll see how that shakes out here. So Logan Diekman, Antoine Cyr, Andreas Kirking, Graham Ritchie, Bill Harmeyer just falling off the pace. So 5 skiers, and I'll tell you right now, all 5 of those could win this heat, no doubt about it. They all have an amazing pedigree. And here we go, they're pretty much all side by side. Andreas Kirking in the lead, but Antoine Cyr now moving up. Andreas Kirking is going to be on the outside going into that corner. Graham Ritchie trying to hang there just on the back of Antoine Cyr's skis. Logan Diekman on the inside. Magnus Boo sitting 5th spot. They're going to be coming into that final straightaway, and it's a bit of a grind. Andreas Kirking out front, looking really strong. Antoine Cyr gritting his teeth here, trying to get that second spot. Graham Ritchie making a charge also gritting his teeth. Can he do it? It's going to be Andreas Kirking, then Antoine Cyr, then Graham Ritchie, then Logan Diekman, Magnus Boo in 5th, and Bill Harmeyer in 6th. Oh my goodness. And that was just our first semifinal. Our second semifinal now coming up. So once again, 2 Americans, 2 Norwegians, and 2 Canadians. 4:02, Luke Jagger. 4:13, Ole Marius Kirking. 4:05, Xavi McKeever. 4:09, Noel Keefe. 4:23, the Flamingo Julian Smith. And 4:17, Chantal Bonnaroo. That is our semifinal coming up now. So we've got Olympians in there. We've got former Canadian champions, I think, in there. Xavi McKeever, a U20 skier who's skiing with the Open Man. He'll be U20 next year for those U20 and U23 World Championships that are coming to Whistler Olympic Park. So he's getting some great experience on these trails, and it's so great to have a competition like this at Whistler Olympic Park, and then even bigger events coming up next year. So this has just been great for Whistler Olympic Park to get its back to its amazing glory that it had in the Vancouver 2010 Olympics. Okay, so Luke Jagger, the Olympian, leading it out. Xavi McKeever sitting 2nd spot, the U20 skier that's racing with the Open Man. Then Noel Keefe. Then we've got, I think, oh, we got a broken pole. That is Chantal Bonnaroo. Might have had a bit of a mix-up there with Julian Smith. See if he can get back into this race. But it's Luke Jagger, 2022 Olympian. Xavi McKeever. Xavi McKeever was on that silver medal team from the World Junior Championships in 2020. So he's been to the World Junior Championships quite a few times, and he's got 1 more year to go. But this year, several top 10 finishes. And he's hanging with Luke Jagger. They're pulling ahead of Noel Keefe. Xavi McKeever, the son of Robin McKeever, very decorated Canadian skier and Paranordic coach. And also his mom is Milan Terrio, a very decorated skier for Canada as well. So Xavi McKeever now looks like he's moving into 2nd, moving ahead of Luke Jagger. Look at that. Not holding back, Xavi McKeever. Just a little bit of a herringbone up that hill. Luke Jagger giving it everything just to hold with Xavi McKeever. There's Chantal Bonnaroo. He had that problem with the broken pole. Julian Smith. Okay, so Luke Jagger's moved back into the lead. He's with the Utah cap. And we've got Xavi McKeever with the Alberta World Cup Academy, a U20 skier, but racing up with the open men. Noel Keith. And then Ole Marius Kirking. Ole Marius Kirking trying to get into the final where his brother has already qualified. Luke Jagger leading Xavier McKeever. Now, Xavier McKeever had a great race, if I recall, at the Canadian Olympic trials. If I recall correctly, I feel like he won the classic sprint at the Olympic trials. Maybe it was just the race after the Olympic trials, but in that weekend, he had a great classic sprint competition. And here we go, side by side with Olympian Luke Jagger. Luke Jagger looks like he wants to just get that top spot, just so he has a little bit better lane selection, but he's easing up. They know they want to save some energy, which is going to be a barn burner of a final, and it's going to be 4:13. Ole Marius Kirking in third. Was that enough to get him into the final and race against his brother? Okay, here we go, folks. Hardware on the line. 5 Canadians, 1 American for our U20 men's final. It's the US Super Tour finals, but also the Canadian Championships. 302, Max Holman. 305, Derek Dooling. 304, Luke Allen. 306, Kendon Mashinter. 301, Sasha Masson. So Sasha Masson making it in as a lucky loser. And Alexander Moorer, 308, the lone American in this final. Now, Sasha Masson, can he make up for maybe a little bit slower semifinal? He's got to the final. He was our #1 qualifier. But this is for a Canadian championship. 305, Derek Dooling now competes with University of Alaska at Anchorage. There's 306, Kendon Mashinter, just really skiing a great race here. Great sprint heats, and he's got a chance for a national championship. And there's Sasha Masson just on the outside in the black. So here's our start. Sasha Masson getting a good start here. He's getting a really strong start. He had that outside lane because he was a lucky loser. Didn't get the optimal starting lane, but he's got into that front position. But on the inside, Max Holman. In the middle there is Derek Dooling. Sasha Masson making a charge on the outside. This is for a national championship for the U20 men. Sasha Masson in the dark there for the Pierre Harvey Training Center. Then from the Thunder Bay Club, Big Thunder, is Max Holman. Then Derek Dooling out of Whitehorse. Sasha Masson and Derek Dooling, both originally from Whitehorse. So it's Thunder Bay versus Whitehorse right now. Also in there, Kendon Mashinter. Can he get in there for a medal position? Then we've got Luke Allen and Alexander Moorer sitting in 5th and 6th. So here we go. 3 skiers. All of them, I think, could win gold here. But there's only one top step on that podium. Sasha Masson, Max Holman, Derek Dooling into Heartbreak Corner. Coming up very shortly. Oh, Heartbreak! Max Holman is down. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Max Holman down. Sasha Masson safely through. Derek Dooling now in 2nd. They realize now those two are racing for a national championship. And now this is Kendon Mashinter with a chance to get a bronze medal. Oh my goodness, Heartbreak on Heartbreak Corner here at Whistler Olympic Park. The U20 Men's National Championship. Now Derek Dooling has moved into the lead. It's Whitehorse versus Whitehorse here. Derek Dooling, then Sasha Masson. Then we've got Luke Allen, Alexander Moorer, and Kendon Mashinter. Now, I believe Luke Allen is an American, so I think Kendon Mashinter is right now sitting 3rd place for the Canadians. Oh, my goodness. So here we go into that final descent. Derek Dooling with the very fast skis leading Sasha Masson. They are battling for a Canadian championship. Derek Dooling pulling ahead, but Sasha Masson not giving up, trying to fight back. Luke Allen in third, Alexander Moore in fourth, and Kendon Mashinter in fifth. Derek Dooling pulling away, putting on a big effort here, opening the gap to Sasha Masson. He's going to come around shortly to that straightaway, and he's going to look at a gold medal in front of him. Behind him is second. He knows he's got it. He's got the distance to win this. Derek Dooling coming in for a gold medal. Sasha Masson trying to hold on to second place. Derek Dooling, Canadian champion here. What a race. And second is going to be Luke Allen. Third is Sasha Masson. Fourth, Alexander Moore. Fifth, Kendon Mashinter, but I think he is third Canadian. Derek Dooling has done it. A Canadian champion. Unfortunate turn of events for Max Holman. Heartbreak on heartbreak corner. And we're gonna go down to the finish. We're gonna let him catch his breath there. But this is gonna be interesting. I want to hear what kind of happened there with Max Holman. It happened very quickly, but Derek Dooling, just a great set of sprints and really delivered on the stadium double polling, pulled ahead, and a very rightful champion for the Canadians here for our U20 men. So there we've got our top three finishers. Derek Dooling in the middle. Sasha Masson fighting back after that lucky loser position, just getting him into the final. And Luke Allen. And there's Max Holman finishing up his race. It's tough. It is tough, but every athlete, you've been there. The joys wouldn't be as high if the lows weren't quite as low. So this is just part of the sport, and he's going to finish up to the cheers of the crowd. Max Holman, Big Thunder. Just finishing up his race. Oh my goodness. It's gonna hurt. There's no doubt it's gonna hurt. You can't really say much about that, but he's gonna finish up, and we are gonna see Max Holman back in the future. And we're just gonna go down to the finish with Olivia with our champion.
I'm here with race winner Derek Dooling. Derek, can you comment on Max Holman's fall? How did that affect you?
Actually, I had to jump over his ski. It was kind of a crazy crash. Somehow well, there he is, but yeah, his legs just split. It was kind of hard, no tracks, and then just went kind of face first, and Sash and I were right behind him, and yeah, it was kind of tricky to navigate around him, but we managed it, and it's always kind of sad to see. But yeah, managed it and just kind of kept our ski race going.
Good. Well, congratulations. You looked really strong out there today. Can you comment on how you felt today and what it means to you to be national champion today?
Yeah, I felt great in the heats. The qualifier, my head was all over the place, but the heats was awesome, and the sun came out, so that helped a lot. It feels pretty good coming into the finish line there. Yeah, haven't won a sprint before, so there you go.
Well, congratulations. Well deserved.
Thanks.
Okay, so that was great talking to Derek Dooling. He's a national champion and just delivered in that finishing sprint. But we're gonna get to some replays and just analyze that again. That was a really great battle. I mean, you saw three great young Canadian athletes battling head to head, and just a few things went wrong for some people, and there, even at the start, you see Kendon Mashinter just got caught up a little bit, and here is that descent. Oh, it looks like just maybe caught a little bit of a rut in the snow, and that can happen. That's no fault of Maximilian Holman, and but Derek Dooling, had the opportunity and he delivered, and that wow. But yeah, that just a little bit of a rut or something. I mean, it wasn't like he just caught something with that ski and probably didn't see it, and it was just enough. This course has been so wet here, raining day after day. They salted the course, and that firmed it up quite a bit, but just with so many heats. I mean, we've had over, I think 30 heats so far. That course gets chewed up. Just a little bit of a divot in the snow. And, you know, he was down low in the tuck and just caught that ski. Just total bad luck. You can't really say anything else about it. But we're going to see Max Holman, I'm sure in the future, we're going to see a lot more racing from that guy. He's really come up strong. And Derek Dooling, your Canadian champion, and Sasha Masson fighting back, get on the podium after that little bit of some trouble there in the semifinal. But he fought back, bounced back, and is going to be on the podium here for the Canadian Championship. Oh my goodness, that was some serious excitement, and we still have our open men's final to finish off the day here. We got 2 minutes to final, and it's just, this has been just so outstanding, this racing, and it's just, you know, we had our U20 women and our open women just finish off with some great racing, and Julia Kern in the end putting on a clinic for our open women. Our U20 men, just excitement, a little bit of chaos, and just a great finish. And now we've got our open men coming up, our final race of the day here. For our live stream today, this will be our final race. We're back on Friday for the team sprint, so you definitely want to join us for the team sprints. We're going to have lots of racing, and it's going to be very, very interesting. I assure you of that, the team sprints. So you'll want to join us on Friday for that. But our final for our U20 men coming up, our final for our open men coming up, and I can see Logan Diekman and Graham Ritchie, our lucky losers, getting into the final. And we have got an awesome, awesome final. 1, 2, 3 Olympians, a former Norwegian junior champion, top results for Xavier McKeever at the World Championship level, silver medal in the relay, and Logan Diekman in there as well. So just a really strong final, and I think any one of them could win this. Andrews Kirking is certainly showing that he is one of the dominant skiers here, the former Norwegian national champion, now skiing for University of Denver. We can see he's just walking up to the start gates right now. Luke Jagger, the Olympian, skis for University of Utah. You see him just running up to the start gates. Antoine Cyr and Graham Ritchie, the teammates that got 5th place in the Olympics here 2022 in Beijing. This is going to be a great final. Xavier McKeever, can he do it? A U20 athlete moving up. You know, he's getting lots of experience here for the World Junior, World U23 championships that are coming to Whistler Olympic Park next year, late January, early February. So he's getting some experience because he's going to be likely back here racing next year. He certainly is that age, 2003 year of birth, so he'll be racing likely in those World Championships. Okay, so here we go. Our start list for our final race of the day, our open men's final classic sprint. 401 from Norway, Andreas Kirking. 402 from the US, Luke Jagger. 404, Antoine Cyr. 405, Xavier McKeever. 407, Graham Ritchie. And 411 from the US, Logan Diekman. That is your 6 skiers that have qualified for this all-star open men's final. Oh boy, we gotta get ready for this. We had a great U20 men's final, and I think this could be an absolute barn burner of a race. We won't know the winner until the final lunge for the line, I think, is what we're gonna see here.
Les athlètes qui optent pour la lunette soleil avec l'apparition du soleil, putting on the shades.
And I'm just looking here. Logan Diekman, if I got my notes right, is leading the SuperTour sprint standing. So this was an important sprint for him. He's been more dominant in the skate sprint. So Logan Diekman, he's looking to finish off his season with a SuperTour sprint championship. So he's done the right things to set himself up for getting lots of points here today and doing well, I think, in the SuperTour sprint standings. Okay, so our final coming up very, very shortly. Yeah, Logan Diekman, 119 points in the sprint standings for US SuperTour. So this was a critical race for him, and he delivered. And our open men's final coming up very shortly. So our lucky losers getting in here, we're Logan Diekman and Graham Ritchie.
Il semble qu'on retarde légèrement le départ.
So we're just waiting here for this race to get underway.
Just adding on to the strategy of that final here. We're delaying a little bit the start. Athletes keep warm right now at the start as we're getting ready to.
Okay, so our athletes have been pulled out of the gates here. Not sure what's going on. They're just trying to, I guess, build up even more suspense here going into our open men's final. Okay, so just a little bit of halt here on this race, but I'm sure it'll get going right away. So we're just overlooking the stadium here at Whistler Olympic Park, and you can see that final turn into the finishing straight. Just beautiful scenery, and we can see some blue sky out there. It was very gray and very rainy when this day started, but the sun, this blue sky is out, and it's just so incredible around here. Just the scenery and just driving up, along Howe Sound, driving up to the Whistler Olympic Park. So many memories from those 2010 Winter Olympics. I remember probably my best memory was in the team sprint when it was for Canada, Devin Kershaw and Alex Harvey. And I remember in the 5th of 6 legs, Devin Kershaw going to the front, and this just enormous roar from the crowd. It was just so much great racing. And the Canadians did really well, lots of top performances at those Vancouver 2010 Olympics. And, there is a chance, 2030 Olympics, there is an Indigenous-led games bid that is taking place, and there is a chance that the Olympics could come back to this venue. And just great. This venue, things are happening, really great things are happening here at the Canadian Championships, and then the World U23 and Junior Championships coming up next year. So just great things happening. This is just such a fantastic venue, and just, again, so many great memories from those races back in 2010. So not sure what the holdup is. If I had to guess, there is some sort of issue that looks like the jury is discussing something. So the jury. Okay, so we're just getting word that one of the racers is contesting one of the finishes. And we had those really close finishes, and I'm sure they're looking whether it's a photo finish or probably maybe some obstruction. That's always an interesting debate. We all remember the World Championships, the last World Championships, where things finished off with a very interesting obstruction discussion from those championships. So the jury is looking at that. We'll let them decide, because we want to make sure all the rightful people are in the final. And just a few things I will mention a little bit on our great sponsors. That's been a real big part of the success of this event. We talked about C-SPAN, Beneath Apparel, Blackcomb Snowmobile, but also Beatty. Beatty is one of Canada's largest real estate and facilities companies, and the Beatty family is one of Canada's largest philanthropists. So really thank you for their support. Alta Gas, very long-term sponsor of Nordic Canada and so many great events. So Alta Gas, just an amazing sponsor for cross-country skiing, and they're just a great energy infrastructure company, and they've done so many great things. Okay, so we've got 7 athletes in the final. Magnus Boo has been added to this final. That is not uncommon. We've seen that quite a bit in other races where there's a dispute, and we want to keep moving forward. And you know what? We're going to go with 7 in the final, and Magnus Boo is a great addition to this final. I've talked a lot about him, just his background, the Norwegian, born in Korea, race for Korea at the 2019 Pyeongchang Olympics. And there we go, 7 people in the final, just adding to the suspense of this incredible day. The final race here of our day 3. We're gonna be back for the team sprints on Friday, but this is our final race of the day. And it's very tactical. They've gone out slow. Luke Jagger, 4:02, Andreas Kirking 4:01, Antoine Cyr 4:04. This is a casual start. This is a tactical race. They don't have to worry about, you know, lucky loser positions or anything like that. All that matters, first across the line wins. And Antoine Cyr moving to the front. He wants to control it from the front, and it looks like he's putting in a lot of effort. That's that just slight hunch that Antoine Cyr gets when he decides to turn it on, and that's what he's doing. And Luke Jagger on his tail. So we've got, let's see, four Olympians in this race right now. This, and some, you know, Logan Diekman, the U.S. SuperTour sprint leader. So Antoine Cyr, he has opened it up. He is pushing the pace. It was started off a little more tactical, but he has clearly opened up the pace. He does not want a tactical race. So Antoine Cyr in the black, 4:04, the Canadian Olympian. Then we've got Luke Jagger, the American Olympian, racing for University of Utah here, and he's moving into the lead. Andreas Kirking, junior national champion from Norway from several years ago. Then we've got Graham Ritchie getting the inside. They're safely through Heartbreak Corner. Luke Jagger now putting on a push here. Graham Ritchie gritting his teeth. Xavier McKeever right there. Magnus Boe, the 2018 Olympian for Korea. And also Andreas Kirking, he's fallen back now to 6th spot. We've lost one of our skiers, so there's 4:11. Logan Diekman, I think he's got the SuperTour sprint category locked up. So we've got 6 skiers coming down that downhill, that chicane downhill, and I guarantee you all 6 of these skiers have a chance to win this. There's a bit of a gap there, but we know there's a lot of double polling through that stadium area. Who's got the skis to just get some good glide here, move ahead. Luke Jagger in the lead, 4:02, 4:04 is Antoine Cyr. 2 Olympians, first and second. As we cut back now, we see moving into third, that is Xavier McKeever in third now. The under-20 athlete is in third place. Now he's moving to the outside, making a charge here, Xavier McKeever in blue and black. Can he do this? The U20 skier, still lots of distance to go. Luke Jagger's got the inside going into the final corner. Antoine Cyr in third. They've opened up a gap on those other 3 skiers. Xavier McKeever bringing it home. Can he do it? Luke Jagger trying to charge. Antoine Cyr moving into second. But Xavier McKeever, U20 skier with the Alberta World Cup Academy, is going to be your Open Men's National Champion. Silver to Antoine Cyr. Third to Luke Jagger. Oh my goodness. Xavier McKeever winning a national championship, U20 skier, getting in the experience to battle it out in the U20 World Championships here next year. You couldn't have written a better script than that, folks. Oh my goodness. Wow, what a race. Shaking his head. He doesn't know what just happened. But he did it, national champion. Fist bump with Graham Ritchie, an Olympian. Fist bump with Magnus Boe, an Olympian. Finishing ahead of 2 Olympians. My goodness. What a race, Xavier McKeever. Okay, we're going to be going down to an interview shortly, but just giving a second there for Xavier to catch his breath. That looks like John Alberg just acknowledging the great race there, Xavier McKeever. But that was just all around a great battle. You know, Antoine Cyr taking it out fast, starting to push the pace. Luke Jagger coming on, and then Xavier McKeever at the end had the skis and had the power, and he is a national champion. And here we go. We'll go down to Olivia for an interview with our champion.
I'm here with the winner of the Open Men's Race, Xavier McKeever. Zav, that was an incredibly impressive race. There were 7 men in your final. You were not in the lead for most of the race, but you really finished strong. Can you just talk to me about the race today?
Yeah, honestly, I just tried to follow it more. I think I led a bit too much in my quarterfinal, and I got caught out at the finish. So that was a close one, a pretty scary one. So honestly, I was just happy to be in the final and make it through. And yeah, honestly, like I was just doing everything I could on the uphill just to limit damage. And yeah, I just had insane skis all day today. So big shout out to the waxers at the Alberta World Cup Academy for the boards. And yeah, just had really good skis to be able to catch up to the lead. And, you know, double pulling is probably one of my stronger techniques. So just going to the finish, it was just, you know, full gas to the end. And, you know, I just had good boards and good power, and those two matched well together. And yeah, just I'm honestly speechless.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think what a lot of people might not know is that you're still a first-year junior man, which means that you might be back here next year for World Juniors as a last-year junior, racing the same race on the same course. That must be exciting for you.
Yeah, super exciting. I think it's a course that suits me a lot. There's a lot of different elements. There's some tight cornering, and then some big long striding and a big double pole finish. So, you know, skiing it today was awesome, and just getting to see what we're going to be racing at World Juniors next year. So, yeah, super excited for that event.
Congratulations. Is there anything you want to say to the fans watching on the live stream at home?
Honestly, just like, not really. Honestly, I'm just speechless. Honestly, sorry.
No, it's all good. Congratulations. Yeah, national champion.
McKeever deserves to be speechless. He left it all out on the course there, and you know, I think he's going to give a few people a sore throat tomorrow with all the cheering there for Xavier McKeever to take that win. And he had to fight. You know, those two skiers were out front, and he had to fight back, and he took the win. And you know, great perspective there. You know, thanking his wax techs and, you know, not showboating, just, you know, putting it out there. Great perspective, and just a great young athlete. You know, we always celebrate the winners, but it's about being great people and just participating and having great events and leaving it all out there. And I think we can say all of that about Xavier McKeever. And I think pretty much everyone in the final. That was a barn burner of a final. That was awesome. Lots of congratulations there. And it's, you know, you couldn't have written a better script. We've got the U20 and U23 World Championships here next year in Whistler, and likely one of the athletes there will be Xavier McKeever. So it's great to have him winning this race. So we're just going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
Hi skiers, my name is Bob Putnam. I'm co-owner of Coast Outdoors in North Vancouver. We're one of Western Canada's premier Nordic specialty shops. We've been in business for about 15 years. I want to welcome you to the Canadian National Cross Country Ski Champs and tell you about our online store, coastoutdoors.ca, where you can order all your gear online. We have Nordic skis, boots, poles, waxes. We're a specialty shop. Most of our staff are avid skiers and racers, so you can be assured that you're going to get quality service from knowledgeable staff. We're not just a big box store that sells skis. We're a specialty ski shop in the wintertime. So come on and check us out and go to coastoutdoors.ca, and we can ship the products to you anywhere in North America. And if you haven't been to our store, we'll be at Whistler Olympic Park for the duration of the National Cross Country Ski Champs. Stop by our booth and say hi, and we can tell you all about what we do here in North Vancouver.
And we are back here at the Whistler Olympic Park. What a beautiful day of racing it has been. It started off cloudy and gloomy, but is finished off with some blue sky and just a beautiful day here. And some great racing. And just going to recap the racing. So that U20 women's final is a great battle between Jasmine Drolet, the little Terminator, and Lillian Gagnon. And Lillian Gagnon just coming out with the win. And Magali Daoust fighting through as a lucky loser and getting a bronze medal here in our Canadian National Championship. So just a great podium there in our U20 women's results. Just great racing all around, but that was just a nice battle right there for our U20 women. For our open women, the Colonel, Julia Kern, putting on a show, one of the world's best classic sprinters, and she showed it here today. Caitlin Patterson, always gritty, fighting for a silver medal. And then Daria Beatty taking the gold medal for Canada, third for the sprint here. And our U20 men's final, so some chaos there, unfortunately for Max Holman, but Derek Dooling coming out on top with a gold medal. Luke Allen and then Sasha Masson getting in on the podium. And now our open men's results, just summarizing. He's left us all speechless. What a great race. Xavier McKeever, Antoine Cyr taking the top spots, and Luke Jagger in third, Andreas Kirking and Graham Ritchie filling out the podium for the Canadians, Magnus Boo in sixth spot. Just great, unbelievable racing to finish things off for today, day 3 of the racing. We've got more live stream coming up on the Friday with the team sprints. You want to join us for the team sprints. And we've got more racing here throughout the week. The mass starts on the final day. Just some highlights of this great day of racing here at the Whistler Olympic Park. These were some of the finishes and the heats, and just some great battles out there. People leaving it all out on the course. And Maya McIsaac-Jones, her final race ever, and getting some hugs and that. Just a great Canadian athlete. A few tears there. Some great close finishes. Daria Beatty, that was one of the semifinals. Laurence Dumais, her final season. Then we had, I think this was our final for our U20 women, Lillian Gagnon, just in front of Jasmine Drolet, just a drag race down to the finish. Lillian Gagnon, Canadian champion, silver medal to Jasmine Drolet. And here's the Colonel, Julia Kern, way out in front. So again, we're going to be broadcasting Friday at 1 p.m., but just some more highlights here. This is Julia Kern, the Colonel. So it has been a great day of racing. The fans have enjoyed the racing. It's been very exciting. Some ridiculous sprint finishes, and it's just amazing to see this. Amazing to see Whistler Olympic Park hosting this phenomenal event. And we had top Canadian skiers, top American skiers, a little bit of tactics and pushing and shoving on this tight course, and just some great racing, some chaos, some falls. We had it all today here at Whistler Olympic Park. Just some great battles, great racing. And this, just some more finishes. So thanks everyone for joining us here at Whistler Olympic Park. Thank you to the great production team for all the great work they've done. And we will see you back on the live stream on Friday at 1 p.m. local time. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.